Hello and welcome to the 2026 NFL Draft Extravaganza after what was last year's incredible event that many say they could not forget. We had to go ahead and bring it back this year with new people. Bigger things, maybe some crazy draft choices we completely disagree with. But either way, we're here, sat on the couch. We got different cameras we're going to go to. We've got some expertise in all sorts of things. Big boards, drip, and among others. We are absolutely pumped to be here. Boys, the NFL draft is here. It's already incredible. That's true.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. We got some basic suits looking so far, but I'm eager to find out what the inside is like as we are seeing a few of the insides of the suits. I got Reese's peanut butter cups. That's pretty good. But I'm hyped. I hope some trades happen. Fernando Mendoza doesn't pop out to the draft. That's kind of weird, but I understand where he's coming from. But I'm ready to go. I think it's going to be a fun draft. We'll see how everything turns out.
So Pierce is our expert on all things fashion. We're absolutely going to be going to him throughout the night. Landon, this is your first draft experience. How pumped are you to be here?
I'm pumped, man. You know what? The draft is it's a great moment for all the athletes. It's a great moment for the people watching because you never know what's going to happen. And like last year with the Shadur slide, the Will Levis slide. It doesn't seem like there's anyone that may slide tonight, but then you never know. That's the unpredictability of the draft, and then you get to see where these teams build. So it's a great event, and I'm excited to be here with you guys.
That it is, and it's getting started here at 8 o'clock. But as usual, the Raiders are probably going to take all of their time to make the selection, even though we have a good idea who it could be. It's hosted in Pittsburgh this year. Different than last year's Green Bay. Last year we had a couple of people who were fans of the Packers holding it down, and that includes Taylor. How are you doing today?
We were doing great, no first-round pick.
Get down here a little
There we go. There we go. No first-round pick for the Green Bay Packers, but, that first-round pick that they got rid of is basically to get Micah Parsons, so they already won the draft in my mind. That's what I'm telling myself to stay entertained on day one, but got to wait till day two to see what the Green and Gold do.
No Matthew Golden moment this year.
Yeah, I want to follow up on that. Matthew Golden?
No Matthew Golden moment, no excitement. I think it could be a stronger year for him. Romeo Doubs is out of there. He's with New England. And Dontavian Wicks went to Philadelphia. So Matthew Golden should be the third receiver, but, it's not too much competition. So I'm not too worried about him losing his spot, but it'll be interesting to see what his total snap count will be.
Would you like to draft the body part that Micah Parsons tore, if you were able to?
To get him to get him back week one? Like, what's the...
Yeah.
No. Because, he just needs to learn that full recovery. He'll come back week 3.
Oh, okay.
He'll be dominant, but he'll be okay. But if I could donate some parts of my leg to him and Tucker Kraft, I totally would. But that's definitely not possible, and I'm not as strong as both of them, so it would not really work as well.
Right.
So no, we're just going to have to painfully wait and see, no pun intended.
Well, you brought up gold quite a bit there. Once again, the Steelers are hosting, but they got some terrible towels, of course. But it's interesting to look out in the crowd. It feels like there's a lot of different fan bases represented that make the travel out there to witness their team pick in person.
Yeah, being on the East Coast, there's a lot of teams over there. Think about both the New York teams, obviously Philly, Pittsburgh. We got Washington, the Ravens as well. So it's a good spot for at least the East Coast teams. But with Oakland being, or not Oakland. Man, that's a blast from the past, isn't it? The Vegas Raiders, I'm sure their fans travel. They got fans everywhere, so they'll be excited to see Mendoza, who's actually in Coral Gables. I guess, did he stay there from when he won the national championship? I don't know.
I suppose. Yeah. What a year. We're probably going to be talking about him for the next 12 or so minutes, but they're bringing out more and more fans to the Steelers stage.
Who is it?
Yeah, we're waiting to see who these legends are going to be out there, but I think it's smart for these teams, though, to bring in their star players. I see Cameron Hayward's up there, T.J. Watt out there to try to hype everybody up. That's got to be important for the home crowd. Oh, there's Hines Ward, and wow, they're just bringing out all the legends. That's important to bring them back to the city.
My question is, where's Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, that's a talking
where I
point
need
right
to see
there.
it. He's in the woods. That would be crazy if he just pops out right now, though. We don't know. He could be hiding back there.
I mean, we're going to get to the Steelers. Cody Wagner in on this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it just
Got
feels
one
like
mic grab this evening. One mic grab, ladies and gentlemen.
It's interesting to see the position that the Steelers are in coming into this draft. For them to be hosting, they're in a very interesting spot. No one knows really yet who the quarterback's going to be next season. For the moment, it seems Maybe they'll get another year of Aaron Rodgers, but it still seems uncertain for the moment.
Terry Dementia Bradshaw up now.
They're getting everybody out there. Who did we see? Big Ben?
Yeah, Big Ben was in
Big
there.
Ben?
Yeah.
So they're bringing everybody. I think when we get to the Steelers pick, it's going to be important to talk about. Like Cody was mentioning, you bring Mike McCarthy back. Is that then a sure thing that Aaron Rodgers is back? Could they be in the room look for a quarterback?
Yeah, they could be. I don't think Ty Simpson's necessarily like the one. I think Mike McCarthy has talked a lot about Will Howard from last year. I don't know if they really would, because I feel like if they trust Will Howard, if Mike McCarthy has been talking really good about him, then why not just stick with him and draft something else that you'll need?
So they'll have plenty of options when they get up to the pick. When you go into tonight, who are teams that you think need to get it right and maybe are in a tough spot that they have to succeed right here?
Well, I can tell you one thing. We got buffalo wings here tonight, and they are absolutely
Is that your first overall
fantastic.
pick?
First overall pick, Domino's buffalo wings. Great choice from the crew. Very proud of everyone here.
Well, let me tell you who is on the clock. It's the Las Vegas Raiders' first graphic of the evening. I think that we've got a good idea as to who this is going to be. If it's not Fernando Mendoza, what are we doing?
We're trusting Mr. Cousins. That's what we're doing. Holy crowd. Holy crowd in
Okay,
Pittsburgh.
Rob has just laid out the hypothetical. Is there going to be more or less than 4 minutes remaining
Over.
on the clock?
Let's
Or
gamble.
under. Remaining?
Yeah.
They're going to take forever. They're going to take like 7 of these 8 minutes to pick exactly who we know they're going to pick.
Now,
trade the pick?
Not going to know.
of note this year, folks, though, the timer down to 8 minutes on each clock.
Yes.
That feels like it could speed up the process a little bit.
I mean, this guy looks like he's going to 8th grade formal. What are we wearing? I
Yeah,
mean,
you can already rate the drip on this. We've got the live.
Yeah,
look
all right.
here.
We got a navy suit, a blue tie. It doesn't really match, but I guess it sort of does. White under. We got the gold watch. It looks like no rings on the hand. I don't know. He looks like he's ready to go to Catholic church, which I think his family is. But so maybe if that's what he's going for, then I think it's not bad. But I think he could have done a little bit better. I saw him modeling a little bit just before the draft, but yeah, I think he could have done better.
Yeah, they got Signetti there with the family. It is interesting to see that, like, this year in the first round, we're gonna have at least two players from Indiana go. A school that a couple of years ago, no one was coming out of Indiana, and now it's immediately a powerhouse. It's crazy.
The power of Mark Cuban.
Now, I do want to go into discussion here. If Fernando Mendoza does indeed go number 1, how do you think he compares to other number 1 picks we've had, and is he set up for success in Vegas?
No,
No.
that just like offensively. I mean, you took a good running back last year, Ashton Gentile, help there, but they got to figure out the offensive line. The offensive line is.
They got some pieces. They got Linderbaum. You got Linderbaum. You got
They're
one of the
doing,
strongest
they're
centers.
doing their best, yes.
Yeah, you got one of the strongest
but
centers.
They are going to have to bolster that in the years to come. I think there will be a lot of learning curve this year, but Mendoza's the guy you want if you're going to have that.
He's not even going to play. He's not going to see the field. He's going to be sitting out. We got Kirk
Cousins?
Cousins.
You think he'll start the whole season?
I think majority. I mean,
Oh.
if you think, why would you rush Fernando? You're going to get him killed. Like Joe Burrow, he lasted what, like 2 years where he wasn't dead, like half his body was broken. Like they can't mess that up like the Bengals have. Now they're just like paying people. They pay 4 guys
Draft him, though, if you're gonna sign like.
because you got to get the offensive line next.
But I feel like you only learn by getting in-game reps.
I mean, yeah, maybe we'll see. I don't know. Like I just don't think
Yeah.
I don't think Kirk Cousins is not going to start more than like half the season. I think he'll at least get half.
Yeah. It looks like they've made their decision as well. They're the draft room is dapping each other up. Hopefully it's because they made the right pick. But it's not like an Atlanta Falcons scenario where the owner and the GM are having to explain to each other why they drafted Michael Penix.
I'm not expecting a draft day moment here. I don't think that they're going to go with Sonny Styles at number 1.
Now, of course, then, did Mendoza have teammates attend his birthday party? That's the question we're all asking at this point. He's got a lot of people there. Maybe makes me think they did. But let's go big picture with the Raiders. It's kind of a fresh start for them. Do you think that they could really quickly make the turn, or is this a long-term rebuild in Las Vegas?
I think they could make the turn. I don't know if it's a long-term rebuild. Like, you have Genty and you have, you would assume Mendoza. But I think maybe 2 or 3. What's your definition of a long-term rebuild?
I think, how many years competitive is Clint Kubiak going to be the guy as the coach? How long of a leash does he have to really have success before they already would need to start over again?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do worse than you did last year, so who knows?
I got a double mic. I got a question about the defense for you, Mr. Riley.
Let me say
Oh boy, here we go. Cody Wagner mic grab.
Well, it is very clear that you can do worse than they did last year. The Browns have done it in multiple seasons in recent memory. So
Cleveland against Las Vegas. So
I'm not gonna. I would not be there if that was the matchup. No, just looking at some of the key additions. I have to self-assess just. Knowing what I know for the Raiders, keeping Eric Stokes and also adding Quay Walker, Riley, that Quay Walker addition, do you think the defense could be half decent, or do you think that's a bad move, adding respectfully, on-field-wise, not the smartest player, but talent-wise, a very good player? You think the defense is sustainable enough, as well as Kwity Paye out of Michigan that they added?
If I'm going to give my takes, they went ahead and they absolutely spent in free agency, which is a great thing to do. I don't know personally if their choices were the greatest. I remember Kwity Paye coming out of college, one of the film breakdowns. Any OGs on the channel remember that one? Yeah, take a spot, Taylor. I think it was a bit of an overpay for him. I think Quay Walker is talented player. Yeah. Oh, I know where you're going. And over Kwity Paye. But he's a good player as well. I think that both of those guys, and then again, the market has gone up in football in terms of free agency. I mean, we're going to see what happens tonight, but they were talking about, if Jeremiah Love goes in the top 4, he's going to be practically the highest paid running back we've ever seen.
Yep.
Purely based on where he's drafted. Well, here's the pick. I'm ready to not be befuddled. If it is, I'm going to cue up the graphic, I dare say.
Yep.
Okay, no surprises here. We've got Fernando Mendoza on the board. I mean, we saw this coming, really.
I can't wait for the speech. I cannot wait for the interview.
Here's the tears.
Yeah. He's an emotional guy, and he wears it on his sleeve, and it's good, but in the NFL, that could backfire real quick.
We got an air ball in the dap up on the left
Twice.
Oh,
Boy. Is that younger brother? What is he? They kind of look
That's the
similar.
younger brother,
Youngest brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, youngest brother did not dap him up. We did not put money on who he would hug first. Maybe we do that with the next pick.
Yeah.
Family friendly, but we gamble a lot.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
taking a bet. And the Jets are already on the clock. They have 5 minutes to go. I will say that's the fascinating thing is to us, it feels like the pick was just made, but already 3 minutes have gone by on their draft clock. And I might dare say it, the draft starts right here.
Yeah.
We're going to shortly hear from our expert, Cody Wagner, who has all the ins and outs of, who's going to go, who he thinks should go, who has gone. But I feel like this pick is really where things could go off the rails.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Jets. I don't even want to guess.
I mean,
who do you have, Riley? Though? I mean,
see, this is where it's going to come down to it. And actually, I think a better source to hear about who they should be picking would be go to our mock draft expert, Cody. Let's go over to him.
Well, there's a couple different options here. The clearest option is David Bailey. That's who a lot of people have been saying pre-draft that they're going to take. That's, in fact, who I think they will take. Now, who do I think they should take? That goes to Arvell Reese. To me, he just seems the more athletic, the more sort of prototype guy, the guy that would generally go in this top 5 position. David Bailey, when you watch him play, he doesn't seem as much of a freak, as much of a physical specimen, but boy, can he get it done on the front. And I think that you're starting to see more and more of that in recent years as guys get older and older at the college level, is seeing their ability at the college level play into the NFL directly in teams not as much drafting upside, but exactly what they've seen in college. And that's the kind of player David Bailey is. Back to you guys.
Wow, that is just some electric analysis. I'm kind of with him, though. I'm going to be honest. I think that if I were on the clock here for New York, I would be looking at Arvell Reese, a really talented player. But David Bailey, by the way, if it is indeed him, it feels like he's gone through a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, early in this draft process, projected top 5 easy money. then it felt like he slipped a little bit because we're going to talk about it tonight, but you've got the likes of Arvell Reese. You have Reuben Bain, who are top edge rushers in this draft. And now David Bailey, I mean, we saw it earlier on the pregame coverage for different networks. He's gaining a lot of steam to be the second overall pick.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like it's a pick where you can't mess up with the two names there, but all due respect to the Jets, it's a pick that you also can mess up because you're choosing between one of two guys. I mean, I know we're not talking quarterback, but it's like the C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young kind of debacle. Like one of them will end up being better than the other, but you have to pick the right one. So it's a good problem that they're stuck with, but it will be interesting to see where they officially land.
And also, it's worth mentioning, now we're under 3 minutes to go with this pick. The Jets are really taking their time. Also considering that, now their pick is in. So the softball curses continued all the way over to the draft extravaganza.
Oh, man.
And now we got to talk about the Jets. We're going to talk about them play tonight because they'll have another pick because of the Sauce Gardner trade. But Aaron Glenn brought back, only had the first season, didn't go as planned, I suppose. And they bring back Geno Smith to be the guy up in the green.
Yeah, I saw a tweet today. At least they have no allegations against them. They got no problems in the front office. They just have a terrible football coach. But I don't know that. I mean, Aaron Glenn kind of seems like a okay guy for the job. Maybe he's going to be like the building block, as you could say, is like the guy to get them to the next spot, and then they'll fire him, and then they'll get somebody else. But we'll see what the Jets do. They'll probably end up messing it up. They're kind of like the Browns, where they're kind of just like, they continue to fail.
I guess, bro.
And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you just gotta burn the boat, right? To me, like Hugh Jackson, when Cleveland had Hugh Jackson, you just gotta let him go. You gotta cut him loose.
Gotta let him know.
You had a defensive-minded coach, didn't have a single interception. You would think you would luck into one. They didn't have a single interception last year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Glenn, he's one of those guys that's really nice. The media loves him, but you don't get paid to be a nice guy. You get paid to coach a winning football team, and, that's the unfortunate reality. I do think that he was a good option. It definitely hurt Detroit with him departing from there, but 3-14, not really the recipe for success, and you're not one pick away from changing that. One pick will help, but it will be interesting if they go defensively. I also know, Kingsley Nigbare, a random addition from the Green Bay Packers. From what I watched from him, underrated piece, just got overshadowed by Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons being ahead of him. So maybe they get a little sneaky on the defensive line, but looks like that they're about to announce the pick right here.
Yeah, we'll see who they pick.
Can we hear the famous sound? Now we wait to see who it is. Okay, David Bailey is the guy there, so they disagree with our analyst, Cody, on that pick. This is setting the tone for Aaron Glenn's defense.
Yeah, I mean, David Bailey looks – he kind of has the look of, I got to look happy because I'm on TV. Overall, seems a little upset. Now he's dapping some of the boys up. I mean, he's in the tux. He's rocking it. Pierce, where'd Pierce go? What do we think about the tux? Pretty solid look?
He looks like he's a bachelor in a wedding. But it looks like there's a little design on the suit itself. I kind of might see some flowers in there. I'm waiting to see the inside of the suit. He should open it up as he's talking to Goodell. We'll see.
Interesting. I do not see the flowers, but maybe a closer look will get us to those flowers.
Now, when we're talking
Am I
David
tripping?
Bailey, too, Texas Tech in college football, back to relevancy, it appears.
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
Yeah. Dominant program.
Wreck him.
One of the ones that they utilize the transfer portal. They've kind of gone the Indiana route in a way, but not as successful, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I'm tripping. That's actually Paisley. I'm sorry, not flowers. That's what the design was. My
No,
bad.
that's okay.
My bad, yo.
The fact I didn't even see a design, so the fact that you saw it is still pretty impressive. Much better at the drip than me.
So now we talked about the draft began at pick number 2, but pick number 3, our guy Robbie, who may or may not make an appearance this evening, he is dismayed if Arizona chooses to go with the running back from Notre Dame and Jeremiah Love right here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's showing up if they pick him. He thinks that would be an atrocious pick for what they need. But you would always be surprised. It's draft day. You're always surprised. Cleveland
Browns draft day.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you who is not surprised at what he believes will happen. Let's go over to Cody at the big board.
Well, to me, I actually very much agree with Robbie. I don't think that Jeremiah Love is ready to go here quite yet. I just think that you have too many pieces to solve for Arizona. Yes, Jeremiah Love may be pound for pound the most talented player in this draft class, maybe behind Fernando Mendoza. But a lot are saying he might just be number one. But you have to take a look at position needs and position value. And to me, I think the pick here is Arvel Reese, who is an edge from Ohio State. And you're going to hear a lot of Ohio State names. We're just finishing up the entire big board at the moment, so we'll get filled down for 17 through 32. But for the moment, we got 1 through 16 up. And yes, I think Jeremiah Love goes next to Tennessee. But wouldn't be totally shocked to see him go here to Arizona. He's got all the talent in the world. That is not the reason he would not go here. Back to you guys.
So Jeremiah Love, according to Cody, a really talented player, but I think you got to look at situations as well, right? Are they ready to really have the luxury of taking a position player at this spot with a whole lot of needs ready to be filled?
Yeah, I think they gotta go. I think they gotta go defense. I mean, you want to stack up the offense, but I'm sorry, it's still defense wins championships, especially what we saw in Arizona last season. I mean, how many fourth quarter leads did they blow? There was some insane statistic, at least over the first couple of weeks, like holding all these fourth quarter leads, and then it just completely collapsed, and that was big in part to the defense. So you have to stack up here. I'm sorry.
I also really like their addition of Tyler Algier. He was really good with the Falcons, and now a guy that is going to be a star out in Arizona. I think, you put Jeremiah Love on that spot, then they're going to compete, and that's not what Algier came to Arizona to do. So I think the fact that Love could go to Tennessee is big for him. They could have their second coming to Derrick Henry maybe.
And you talked about last year some late game collapses and such from Arizona, Taylor. It felt like early on in the season they were kind of just unlucky that they were better than what they were. Yeah. But now we go into the next year while they're on the clock. Quarterback situation, what's going on? They cut ties with Kyler Murray. That era is over. They're going with Jacoby Brissett back and then Gardner Minshew as an addition. Do you think that's the move they need to go with, or maybe later in this first they jump back, or later in the draft they get another signal caller?
Yeah, maybe they do something like get a Ty Simpson a little later in the draft. That wouldn't shock me. I mean, their plan this season is to just kind of sustain, it seems. I don't think that there's any expectations this season of a playoff level team, especially being in the division that they are in. It is arguably the hardest division in the NFL right now. You have the Seahawks, you have the Rams, you have the 49ers. So you already have 6 tough games on your schedule every single year. But yeah, the Cardinals, it did feel like they were unlucky, but then you see it happen time and time again, and that's a coaching issue. I mean, Jonathan Gannon's out of there. You have Mike LaFleur. Is that his first name? LaFleur's brother? Yeah, Mike LaFleur, the new head coach. So, lots of things changing. The one thing that is staying the same is Jacoby Brissett, who I view as pretty solid, but could go for a lot of yards. Will have those 2 touchdowns and a pick, but could have 300 yards, kind of a guy. He's just going to be flinging the ball left and right. If they go running back Jeremiah Love, maybe that offense looks different, but I think they got to go on the defensive side of the ball.
So a lot of change in Arizona, but I wonder if they're going to keep everything, asking whoever they pick, do you have a fire in your gut? That's the type of players that they're looking to bring into the team. Although Jonathan Gannon's gone, that has to fire up in the locker room.
And you know what? Jeremiah Love, a lot of explosives. A lot of explosives. So that is what they've looked for in the past. Are they still going to look for that? We'll have to wait and see. They're showing him.
Yeah, they're showing him right now.
Which is, good work by the production crew down at ESPN. But yeah, way to build the suspense up.
Yeah, are you guys big fans of them showing the players before? Because then I always feel like I maybe overanalyze and read their body language and see if they don't seem as excited means that they probably aren't getting picked and vice versa. What do you?
I like it for the sole fact that you could see somebody give bad body language.
They also could have this taped, and they could have went back into it.
That's a good point.
That could have been a thing. Have a replay source.
Production man right here, so he's thinking better than me.
Yeah, well, the pick is in, and here it comes. We are going, and it looks like, never mind, I will be stepping aside.
Let's see who we got for this pick. Looks like mock drafts almost completed over on our other side. We'll get to that shortly. This, I feel like, is a domino effect pick.
Yeah.
Do they go tackle? Do they go running back? Do they go defensive player? Roger Goodell's got the answer. We're about to find out. Jeremiah Love to the 3rd overall pick in this draft.
Overall, Jeremiah, wow. Jeremiah, wow, that's what we're saying.
That's
I
gonna
mean,
be interesting.
if you are Tennessee, now you're.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do if you're Tennessee? I mean, do you think? I'm curious. What do you do if you're Tennessee? Like, are you a little panicky right here?
Personally-
hoping that Love was gonna fall, and now you have to really hit the panic button, or what are you thinking now? Clock's a different time now this year, only 8 minutes.
Yeah, I think Jeremiah Love is a talented player that is absolutely worthy of a pick that high in the draft. But obviously, situation is situational. You talk about Tennessee. I think for them, an edge rusher might be the top overall thing that they're looking
Yeah.
for. And personally, and that gives them two options still with David Bailey gone. I personally would be looking at Arvell Reese or Reuben Bain. I like Reuben Bain a lot at this spot, and I think, we got a chance here to get insight from one of our guys who couldn't quite make it to this program at the moment, but has a very strong opinion on Jeremiah Love going at 3. Another mock draft expert, if you will. Any thoughts?
You're on the stream right
You're
now.
on the
Robbie.
stream,
Any thoughts?
Ravi. Any thoughts?
Any thoughts?
Arizona Cardinals, total disaster. This is why they're laughing stock in the NFC West. You pay 2 running backs in the offseason. 2, not 1, 2. You pay James Conner. You pay Tyler Algier. And you still have Trey Benson, who you drafted 2 seasons ago. Total disaster from Arizona. They will continue to be at the bottom of the NFC West. Continue to be at the bottom of the NFC. Continue to be in these top 5 picks. Horrible, horrible pick by Arizona. What a terrible start to a new era.
If I
Wow,
if I may-
unbelievable.
If I may, Robbie, that sounds a lot like what one Mel Kiper said about the Indianapolis Colts way back in the day. Do you think that the Arizona Cardinals GM will have choice words for you as well? Or are you?
I'm very comfortable in my position. I don't think the Cardinals GM is comfortable in his position.
Oh, my.
Choice words for me. He deserves to have. And he can say whatever he wants. He just made the worst pick of his career, and it'll probably be the reason he packs his bag in 2 seasons.
Wow.
Terrible decision from the Cardinals. Yeah, awful.
This is unbelievable breakdown from Robbie. We appreciate you hopping on here. We'll see if we get you later, but wow, we had to get your thoughts on Jeremiah Love going
Appreciate
3.
you guys. I mean, you had my thoughts pre-draft. Those were more personal. Of course, those weren't live streamed, but now that it's happened, what an absolute disaster. Appreciate you guys. Have a good show.
Wow, from the best of the best, Robbie. And I think, though, our kind of on this couch unanimous is he's a really talented ball player.
Of course.
Maybe worthy of this selection. It's just whether the situation is right for him. So let's go over to another expert who knows what he's talking about. Cody, what you got at the big board?
Yeah, well, to me, it's no shocker. I know Robbie is very not happy, to say the least, with the pick. And I'm actually kind of with him. I think that Arizona's in a spot where they shouldn't be taking a running back. But when you see a once-in-a-lifetime talent like Jeremiah Love, you want to take your guy. They said, hey, this is our guy. He's special. And I think it's honestly a valid pick there. If you are going to look at a guy and say, hey, this dude is special, we're going to take him. But you also have to realize at the same time, this isn't 90s football anymore. You aren't going to be running as much as you might have back in the day. You aren't going to get as much production from running backs. And the sad reality is a running back's life in the NFL, for the most part, is 3 to 5 years in their prime, unfortunately. And, hey, you better hope that you get a lot from Jeremiah Love in that time to take him at number 3. Back to you guys.
So Cody is asking for a whole lot from Arizona to see Jeremiah Love pay out. The pick is already in for Tennessee. You talked about it, Taylor. What are they going to do in this draft? Wait, what? You're in the same building? This is unbelievable.
Whoa,
wow.
whoa.
Yeah, it's shocker. He's in the same household. But what are we looking at Tennessee here? I think edge rusher is where they should go with the selection.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I mean, it seemed like Love was likely what Tennessee was going to go with. It seemed like a lot of people were thinking that, but I guess you have the backup option of an edge rusher. If they don't do that, I am absolutely stunned.
And so we got to see what is going to be the selection. Titans on the clock. And we got to also see whoever this pick is, what they're wearing, right? I mean, that's important to this game.
Always.
Without a doubt.
We're going to get a breakdown later of it. Okay, it says on the clock on their graphic, but also the pick is in. I mean, it can't be two at the same time to really be making that work. But we'll find out who this selection is. Cam Ward, the main part of this potential rebuild. Robert Saleh, newly hired as head coach. Brian Dabble also going in former
little
coach of
staff
the
they got there.
Giants.
Good little staff they
Yeah.
got there. Landon Weaver selects pizza
Yeah.
with his 4th overall
Now,
pick. Pepperoni pizza.
People online have been making a lot of bald heads in their coaching staff,
yeah.
right? But maybe that brings a lot of wisdom to the table. They have a lot of experience with these head coaches being on their staff. And I think for Robert Saleh, a second time around may be really beneficial for him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all these coaches mesh together. You can bring in a lot of talent, but can they work together in the same room? You're obviously hoping that answer is yes for Tennessee, as the pick is still in, and we are still awaiting an official announcement.
We're excited to see who this selection is going to be, because a lot's on the line here for Tennessee to really start this rebuild. They've got their quarterback figured out. What else do they have? We're going to have to find out who is getting picked. Whoa now. Carnell Tate, the selection. That is not an edge rusher for sure. As I get set for what that is a shocker.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I saw a couple mocks having Carnell Tate, but that wasn't it wasn't many mocks saying if Love gets picked, then they go Tate. It was maybe they take a swing at him, but that did not seem like a top target. But hey, you want to give Cam Ward a weapon. I respect that. And, you know, you're looking defensive side of the ball or give him a weapon. A pretty interesting pick right there. But I think we got some thoughts overall probably on it from a couple other guys right here.
Yeah, we do, specifically on what he's wearing. Let's, for the first time tonight, go over to Pierce's place to break down what is currently on the table.
I mean, my goodness. I talked about it pre-draft. Carnell Tate, he's got one of the best drips. He got the little wife beater under. We got a white suit jacket. He's got his mom on his left side, his sister on his right. Absolute drip from here. And then before that, Jeremiah Love. He was a brown paisley suit with a brown tie. I really liked it. It honestly looked like a Hershey chocolate bar. They're going to love him in Arizona. It was an absolute disgustingly good suit from Jeremiah Love. Absolute 2 of the best suits so far I've seen tonight. And honestly, might be the best ones we might see all night long in the first round.
We're going to break down your drip.
My drip, okay, so we went shirtless under. That's kind of where I was going with the bling. And then we got the bling around the neck. We got the glasses. Honestly, sweatpants, let's be comfortable, okay? Some people do white beaters under, white t-shirt, maybe even shirtless. I went shirtless. Let me get some sweatpants. Nothing's more uncomfortable than some suit pants because they're a little tight around the hips. They're a little short. They're already coming up to here. You're seeing half your leg. It's just not it. So this is where I went comfortable on the bottom, comfortable on the top, drip either way. So that's kind of the breakdown of my fit. Back over to you guys at the front couch.
Okay, we're back on the clock. Wow, we're going to figure out the frames throughout the night, but how about it?
Yeah. No, I mean, that was – I don't know what the stream caught of that evaluation, but they got something. We got the Giants. Their pick is in. Probably Sonny Styles, but we've already had one Anthony Bennett. Whoa, moment of the night with Jeremiah Love. Not too surprising. I think, Landon, I'm curious. What's more surprising to you, Jeremiah Love at 3 to the Cardinals or Tate going to the Titans at 4?
For me, Taylor, it's got to be Tate going to the Titans just because, you know, you got a fresh quarterback. You have some weapons out there. And a lot of the drafts had them going somewhere on the line, somewhere on the defensive end. But I could have even seen them going for a tackle just to protect Cam Ward that much more. But you give him another weapon, it'll be interesting to see. He's an electric player, obviously very good at Ohio State. But yeah, I think this one's way more surprising. But now it's all about the Giants.
Let me get some thoughts over here first. So, to me, this Carnell Tate, I had him dropping way lower. I thought there was no shot we were going to get a receiver in the top 5 tonight. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, you boys are talking about it, but we are in for a chaotic draft tonight.
Yeah, a chaotic draft indeed, Taylor. And now the Giants on the clock. What do you think about the Jackson Dart scenario? Is he going to be that guy for the future for the Giants?
I mean, he'll be the guy for now. I mean, he showed a lot of really promising flashes. Kind of a messy season with all the injuries. So you saw the flashes, and you'd see him perform really well, even with guys like Neighbors out, with his boy Cam Scadaboo out in the backfield, Dart trying to make it happen with a really thin team around him. So should be a stronger cast around him, a healthier cast, hoping that that sustains for all 17 games of the regular season, and if they were to make an incredible run, even more than that. But Jackson Dart seems like a very solid option for the Giants, likely to go defense here. That offense seems pretty set with where they're at.
Now, is that a new thing with the signing the cards after you're drafted?
Yeah, I think that's going to be like a one-of-one card, because I think Topps, partnering with the NFL, I saw like Topps was all around the NFL draft, so I think that'll be like the first sports card released of each player, and that'll be it's a one-of-one. There's only one of those being signed at the draft. So talk about a card that's going to go for a lot of money, because that is their first official autograph card in the NFL. So some couple of bucks on that one, we could say.
Yeah, I feel like sports cards have become so much more popular this year as we got Pierce and Riley coming back into the frame, our host. Not really
Heisman.
sure what I'm going. Like, I've never hosted the Red Zone before.
I haven't either. I mean, we just got
We're
left
going
on
back-
an
we're
we got
going
left
back
on an
to the
island here.
Yeah, we've talked about pizza this evening, and I had to make sure I at least made my way over there for a
Okay.
little bit. But we just have a free-flowing convo. This Riley's Red Zone has grown over the years. In some ways, it's fallen off in others because of other things we do. We have a lot other going on. All of us here do the same thing, just at a bigger scale, I would say. But when it's all said and done, we like to have some fun, come back here to the Roots to do this draft stream. And so shout out Roots as well. I've yet to have that place, but apparently it's pretty
So
good.
It is pretty good.
A little
you
pricey, but it's
yeah,
pretty good.
You get the Roots rice. I don't get any of the greens. Don't believe in the greens there.
No greens.
Obviously chicken for the protein, and then you throw in a little avocado. Get some cilantro lime on there. Sometimes I like to even throw a hard-boiled egg on there as well. Really maximize that protein, Riley. It's a good healthy choice if you're looking for something other than Chipotle.
I was going to say, seems like a Chipotle alt, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you're eating grass. If grass
Hence the
was
name.
Chipotle, yeah, roots. I mean, you pulled it out of the ground. It's how horrendous it is. I mean, my goodness. What? Like we got some pink little stuff. I don't even know what it is. It's got some-
God forbid somebody wants broccoli.
no, broccoli's fine. It's just like they got a bunch of other weird stuff in there. I don't even know.
Like what? Like what?
Whatever that pink thing was that was in my roots bowl when I had to
like
have
a
it.
radish? Like what
Maybe
are
a
we
radish.
The thing is you put that pink stuff in there.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I had to get it from work. I did not get to customize. I had to get it. I decided to try something. Shot
Whoa,
the
whoa,
dart.
whoa, whoa! Cody, your team has traded the 6th pick to Kansas City.
Oh boy.
Kansas City.
Oh boy.
Oh my! We're gonna get a chance to talk about all of the trades that go down while the Giants pick is in.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cody's mock.
I got it. All right, the Kansas City Chiefs will get the 6th overall pick. The Browns will get the 9th, 74th, and 148th.
Okay.
I like that for Cleveland
I
personally.
believe that's
a lot.
3rd round and maybe a 5th or 6th
Yep,
round.
I think that's
in
well
addition to
done.
the 9th overall. Oh, here you go.
I mean, here's the thing. We weren't getting anyone at 6 that we're not going to be able to get at 9.
That's exactly
I
how
love
they're
this
doing it.
trade.
Yeah,
I mean, this
you think
amazing.
you think they're going O-line?
Yeah, almost certain they're going O-line. That's why I had them even at 6. But Malagoa otherwise isn't going to go until like 12. So I like them trading down just a few spots. That's the only thing I was worried if they trade with Dallas, they might not have their choice of O-linemen. They're still going to have their choice and get those extra picks. It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, I like the move for Cleveland. Now, I think the question is, what will Kansas City be doing? Like, why are they trading up? Who do they think is going to go? We're going to have to wait to see New York's pick right here, at least.
Yeah, and by the way, back-to-back years where Cleveland has traded back, and I feel like we'll see how it pays out. I don't know if Mason Graham really delivered in year 1, but he's got long-term potential. And so we'll find out here who is going to be the selection for the New York Giants. How about John Harbaugh going over there? Chance to rebuild for the G-men?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought they were about to announce the pick. I didn't want to talk over. I thought they were about to announce the pick. We got a little bit of time.
Kevin Durant, Charles Barkley interaction.
No, I think Harbaugh, solid signing. He's a coach that can get you there. Now, if he gets them to the playoffs, can they excel from that? My answer is probably no, just for the situation the Giants are in and the situation that Harbaugh's in over the past couple of years. But a pretty pricey contract for Harbaugh. He's a rumor at a lot of other teams, but the Giants were willing to pay it. And it looks like they're going to now have the pick coming up in just a couple of seconds.
And them shipping off Dexter Lawrence, too, that's big for them. They do get an extra top 10 pick, though, so maybe they make some magic happen early in this first round. But at number 5, they are picking, indeed, Arvell Reese, a linebacker / edge rusher. They list him as a linebacker here, but he can do a lot, Pierce.
Yeah, I mean, let's just scrap everything on here. This is not even close. We got 1, 2 right. No. So we are actually 2 of 5. That's about 40%. We're not shooting great from the field. We're looking like, I don't know, no one's this bad. I mean, this is so bad. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's hard to do what you could have done. We didn't want to make a trade. I asked Cody. I said, hey, do we want to predict some trades? He was like, no, there's not going to be any trades. And yeah, here we are. What do you think, Cody?
No, I said I don't like to predict trades. Just it's a lot going on in the mock draft. I knew there would probably be trades at some point. Obviously, there was, but this has been chaotic. I don't think many predicted what has happened so far. If I'm being
So had he gone 5 for 5, would we be saying, oh, it's a different story, or would we still be saying this is a hard job?
I think this is a chaotic draft. Honestly, like me and Riley talked about this beforehand, that almost anyone could be in this like 2 to 5
Yeah,
range.
yeah.
It could make sense.
That's what makes
in
this one of the most interesting drafts.
any order.
Yeah. You're shocked when it's a pick you don't expect, but you're not too shocked also at the same time. So we think it's a wide open draft. But hey, shout out to Cleveland, 974 and 148. Kansas City here now. I mean, you look. Yeah.
I feel like this puts even more pressure on them because they give up that many.
Do they get
picks as
Caleb
well.
Downs? Were they worried about Washington getting him? Do we think maybe they go that direction? I'm trying to think that why would they have to jump in front of Washington specifically? I'm wondering if this is going to be Caleb Downs.
I think you got to up the defense, especially this year. I don't know what's Mahomes' timetable for injury.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be ready for the season, and if so, Justin Fields, folks, getting another chance.
Give him another chance.
So then you definitely want to up your defense then just to counteract for what you're missing on offense. But maybe Justin Fields figures something out. Who knows? He's got some weapons around him. Decent offensive coach. So, but they've brought him back a couple times and he hasn't done a whole lot.
Now, if it is indeed Caleb Downs, who you mentioned, Robbie was talking to me about this before the draft, and I didn't have time to look it up. But a whole lot of Buckeyes going early. We were looking at maybe the record numbers of how many could be taken in the top 7 in a draft. We've already seen who? Carnell Tate, Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs could already be off the board, and I think Sonny Styles could be in play almost at any moment for these teams.
I mean, Washington could go for someone like Sonny Styles if Downs were to go here. So that could be all within the top 7.
Is that who you think? You think it'll be Downs?
Probably. I'm looking at Cody's mock to get some names in the area. Well,
We've learned that maybe wasn't the best
I'm not looking at the
judgment.
exact name. Well, it's interesting too. Washington was kind of rumored to maybe get Tate. Now he's gone. Do they still go receiver and maybe get Tyson out of Arizona State? That's also a question mark. But it's going to depend a lot on who Kansas City gets here. But I think they're jumping because they want a safety position. I mean, they lost a lot in that secondary. I know they lost corners, but no cornerback is going this early. Will be interesting to see how they evaluate this.
How about this? 3rd youngest top 5 pick in history, well, since 2000, Arvell Reese to the Giants. So that's a potential long-term cornerstone. To quick flip back to him, do we think he's going to be an edge guy? They list him as a linebacker. He's been doing some drills to maybe try to get some edge experience also.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen many interviews with him, but I think he's going to be one of those, he's going to be one of those, I'll do whatever you need me to do kind of a guy. He seemed pretty fired up.
Well, I really think it really depends on how Brian Burns is, the Spider-Man himself. He's been kind of mid ever since he left Carolina because I'm so glad we shipped him off in his little ego he has. So it really depends on how he is going to be, and if he's sneaking it up, I definitely see him moving to edge.
Now, of note, I was reading on the ticker down there on ESPN that they are now not going to trade Kayvon Thibodeau despite that pick. Okay. That's a little bit intriguing. Let's break down this trade a little bit more. Chiefs-Browns. So the Browns giving up the 9th. Well, they get the 9th, a 3rd, and a 5th back. I mean, to move back 3 spots, Andy Reid wearing the Hawaiian polo. Hey, Pierce, you got any thoughts on wearing a polo that's a Hawaiian shirt to the draft?
Well, I'm kind of just disappointed, I guess, that he's not having a Philly cheesesteak in Pittsburgh. I know it's not Philly, but he would coach in Philly for a long time. I think he should have been there, but I do love the Hawaiian. It's very classy. I need to see how the mustache was lined up. It's usually on point, sometimes a little frozen, but Andy Reid always going to have the drip.
Well, we're about to have the pick to find out the newest member of the Kansas City Chiefs. It feels like just an odd year that they're going to have such a high selection.
Mansoor
And they're going with
Delane.
Mansoor Delane. Oh, my goodness.
Virginia Tech transfer to the first round. Virginia, I mean, come on.
Whoa. We've had back-to-back shockers, it feels like.
They lost 2 big corners, and they lost a safety. I just thought pick 6 was too high for Delane. Again, I feel like I'm saying there's a million rumors for Washington, but it feels like every mock draft you look at, one had him getting Delane, one had him going receiver. It felt like they had many directions they could go. I am stunned that they traded up to get Delane. I guess they were worried that Washington was going to try to land him.
I think this is a fantastic pick. I'm not going to chime in much, but I think Mansoor Delane is actually going to do a great job translating into the NFL. You look at a guy like Dorian Strawn, who Mansoor Delane played next to at the Buffalo Bills last year. Strawn was pretty solid until he got hurt midway through the year, so I think Delane can get a lot of experience. He knows a lot of guys in the NFL. He's got experience with guys at Virginia Tech and LSU. I think he could be a guy that we really see lock down the corner position for Kansas City early in the season.
Well, for more on Mansoor Delane, let's go outside to our favorite resident expert of the drip. Pierce is over there.
I mean, we mentioned it a little bit. We talked about the Virginia Tech Hokie former. Now, I never wore this because he didn't play special teams, but he was a Virginia Tech Hokie at one point. So we're wearing the Plum suit. We got a nice big train. I feel like Plum is kind of in the middle of the deep purple of LSU and then Virginia Tech maroon. So I think he kind of showed out for both teams. I think it was a really good. And hey, we're sticking with the reddish purple, and we're gonna go to the Kansas City Chiefs, keeping it a little bit in the pool of the same color. So I think he's gonna look really good in the red and white. But honestly, drip, we give him a check. Back over to you guys on the front couch.
All right, well, we're back from that. Let me get so you can hear me. But, wow, just more expertise from Pierce. He's out there just living life. Different outfits, by the way. He's just ready at any moment.
Yeah, this guy, watch this. Mic grab from him, double mic now coming from the outside studio. Pierce is just on a mission. We got Cody running through the portal from the couch to his mock draft board, which I'm trying to see where we had Delane going. We had him going to Dallas. We had him a little lower. This was definitely you can word it a reach of a pick. I think Delane is absolutely phenomenal in the sense of where he's projected to go. I guess you do call it a reach. I don't think it's an insane reach. And there's a quick interview here with Delane. How about that? You play at Virginia Tech, have an all right season, transfer to LSU, have a really strong season. Now you're playing with the Kansas City Chiefs, who obviously had an underwhelming season with all those injuries, but have a really big chance to jump up right here. But we got to swing on it over to Cody for his thoughts.
Guys, I have to be honest. The mock draft has been an absolute disaster to this point. Not even close.
We know.
This is it couldn't get much worse.
Top 32.
Yes,
he was 12.
He's right here at 12. A lot of talks had him going to Miami here, right around this area. That's where a lot of people had him mocked to. But he ends up going 6. Guys, this is getting crazy and getting crazy early. That he went ahead of Caleb Downs, that is what is insane to me. And Caleb Downs is about as skilled and as talented as they get.
Yeah, we have a comment here from Noah Colston, hoping, shout out the roommate right here at Virginia Tech, the one and only Blacksburg, hoping that he would be a Commander. You have a former Hokie staying, in the Virginia area, even though they play in Maryland for the Washington Commanders. But unfortunate there, Noah. If you're still here, you got to type who you think the Commanders will be getting here. I really think that this is pretty wide open. I don't know you guys if you have your thoughts on who you think they're getting. You think it's got to be Styles Pierce because he sank this low. Some people had him going pretty high in this draft. I know we're still in the first couple of picks, but it feels like he sank pretty low. It could be a pretty strong pick here.
I have thoughts as far as this goes for Virginia Tech. Obviously it's great. You get a guy that used to play for you in the draft, but ever since last year, there was not a lot of draft talk with the Hokies. Nothing really going for them in this draft as well. You really hope that James Franklin is the guy that turns them around, gives them NFL talent, because it feels like so often we have guys that come in and go somewhere else and then thrive. We also see it in basketball as well. So just, great for Delane, great for the fact that we're able to produce him to get him to LSU. But, man, Tech needs some guys that can just go in the league and produce like Bashalton.
Yeah, some big names there. We're going to get a pick here in just a second. Noah has the Commanders going with Styles. They're doing a quick little announcement here beforehand as Roger Goodell is at the podium. We got some decent amount of Commanders fans in attendance. They just panned the camera too. Got that new mascot. We saw it on the chain. Maybe Noah, maybe you need to buy a big Commanders chain, like a big
Technical difficulties
on the ESPN stream. Now we're back. So they're talking about the Walter Payton. We have no technical difficulties here on Riley Red Zone.
Here we go again. Second technical difficulty.
And now the pick is officially in. And they do go Sonny Styles. I think that is a great pick for how much he sank. I know we are at just pick 7 of the NFL draft, but he was projected to be one of the first defensive players taken off the board. And the fact that he lands to Washington, I think, is pretty huge, not having to trade up to get a name like that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just fell right into their lap. I mean, linebacker was something they kind of needed, nothing, not necessarily what they desperately needed, but it is a spot where they could have gotten a little younger, a little bit more versatile. A good movement right there. I mean, they also could move somebody to the edge that was an outside linebacker who's not as quick and wise as they used to be. It is a little bit of an older team in Washington, so they got to get more younger. They got to get depth. So I think it was an overall good pick, and it was honestly the best piece of it available.
Yeah, now we have the Saints coming up next. We have lost the name of the channel in Riley of Riley's Red Zone. He's right here. Riley, what do we think that the Saints may be doing? Do we think they possibly stick with the receiver? Cody had Carnell Tate going there, but you still have Tyson on the board. So an interesting situation we got going on here.
Yeah, well, let me go ahead and share what Robbie's thoughts are. We heard his thoughts on Jeremiah Love earlier. Not great. He thinks that the Saints should pair up Tyler Shugg, who showed a lot of signs late last year, with Jordan Tyson, a wide receiver. But I know somebody else that has an opinion on what the Saints should do as well.
Yeah, well, to touch on the last pick, I think that Sonny Styles is a great pick. Had him going even higher, but a guy that's considered taking him top 5, an off-ball linebacker, that doesn't happen every day. He's about as good as they get, about as athletic as you could ask for as a linebacker. But yeah, switching our attention to this New Orleans pick, I think that it's huge to try to get Tyler Shugg a weapon on the outside. Do I think Jordan Tyson is a bit of a reach here? Yes. But do I think that it's probably the right pick in this scenario given team needs? I also think so, that they should go in the direction of Jordan Tyson. Back to the guys on the couch.
Yeah, well, if it's anything like normal, Chris Olave almost died multiple times being a wide receiver for the Saints. So, I mean, for his own health and safety, we probably shouldn't send him to New Orleans, especially because there's been a lot of lingering injuries with his name. But we'll see what the Saints do. They're not the smartest franchise, I would say. They're pretty dumb, and they're in a really bad division, and they're probably the worst team in it. So we'll really see what they do. They'll probably tank their franchise even farther down there.
Okay, so Carolina,
Watch what you say.
Carolina Panthers have one good year. Pierce McKnight. Saints are terrible and don't know what they're doing. We got a pretty bold claim right there.
We're throwing stones from a glass
We're
house
throwing. We're in the woods here with Pierce. But you know, Pierce.
I will blow your house.
We look at Styles. He gets the jersey here, looking really fresh. New Commanders jerseys as well this season. Noah Colston says that the Super Bowl is confirmed for the Washington Commanders. So I think you want to, if you want to place your bets right now, we can go. They would take down the Carolina Panthers in the NFC Championship to reach the Super Bowl. A little Pierce and Noah action. Double sports bet right there, if we have thoughts on that, Landon.
Well, we also have a question from Akshay. Where do you guys think that Ty Simpson will go? Hashtag roll tide.
Cardinals? Maybe?
Yeah.
Do we think?
Pierce, you have some thoughts
I think
on
the Cardinals are gonna try to do some action. I've seen some takes where they have them, going later in that first round. Cardinals move up into there and select him, but I'm curious your thoughts.
Yeah, I think Cardinals is a very reasonable idea, maybe even the Jets, but let's throw an oddball that's probably not going to happen, but who knows what's going to happen on draft day. Let's go the Cowboys. Get rid of Dak Prescott. We need to move.
Whoa! At 12 or later?
Way later.
Okay, I was about to be scared. Cody Wagner might grab number 3.
To me, it only makes sense for, like, I think that you can probably get Simpson in the second round if you just hold off if you're Arizona.
This is the. I mean, Cody, we got to look at the big board here. Do we think he'll go in the second round if that's your evaluation based on the big board? I think he does. I think we got confidence. Does he go to Miami? Do they not believe in Malik Willis, who they just signed for $67 million and get a safe backup?
That's
I'm not gonna.
No, you make a good point, Taylor. Like
interesting.
Miami's in a very interesting spot because Malik Willis, we know, is talented, but he just doesn't necessarily have the. We haven't seen what he can do necessarily. Yeah. So you might want another guy there to meet.
So my serious take is I think Ty Simpson maybe look for. I know they don't really have the picks necessarily to always do it, but the Rams I think eventually in this draft could be intriguing. But I also wanted to say we talk about the mock drafts. Cody has been a shoo-in the last 2 years to do our mock draft, right? He knows the ins and outs of what's going on. I don't know if he's a shoo-in for next season, but maybe he can recover in the back half of his draft.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Browns pick. If Browns go O-line, I know that we have to wait for the Saints, but if Saints go Tyson, I'll count it because he had Tate. So we're going to go same position. Browns he had going O-line. I think from there it's interesting. You had Miami going receiver. Cody also talked about it. That was a possibility for Mansour Delane to go to. Now that he's gone, the likeliness of Miami possibly going to receiver could definitely spark up.
Yeah, I feel the need to defend myself a little bit. I feel slightly attacked personally.
We love you, Cody. Your mock could be better than mine. We're messing.
I'm trying my best out here, but it has been a disaster. We can't sugarcoat it. It's been absolutely awful so far. I think that New Orleans will go a receiver, but who knows? Maybe they'll just draft a running back based on how things are going so far. You never know. This has been an insane draft to start. Maybe they go Caleb Downs. That wouldn't fully shock me. He's as talented as it gets. So at this point, who knows? Back to you guys.
Yeah, Pierce and I having a quick evaluation right here, looking at the defensive side of the ball. I mean, Pierce, I don't know what the Saints do here. I'm really lost. I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like they have a lot of needs. That's why it's kind of hard to track it.
Well, they need to get rid of Cameron Jordan. I mean, he's ancient. He literally has gray hair. He's old. He's terrible. He's washed. It's over.
Season?
Demario Davis also get out of town.
I'm gonna pull it up.
My goodness.
Well, he is out of town.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get out of town. He's literally out of town. I mean, what do you get? Travis Achan to the team? Look, he literally has silver hair.
10.5 sacks.
Silver hair.
10.5 sacks.
Silver hair.
Yeah,
Literally
there we go.
ancient.
Ancient Cam Jordan, 10.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. I think that's pretty good. Heck of a photo. He also has an insane photo every year. I think Cam Jordan is an interesting name for a lot of teams to get, though, like if you could get an edge guy for a year. He had an interview talking about, teams that could be interesting in him, the Bills, the Packers, the Browns. He says, I don't want to play in the cold, but if the money's right, of course I'll play in the cold kind of a thing. So interesting if his pool kind of, gets a little bit smaller. Minnesota Vikings, they play indoor, Riley. Maybe they could take a random swing. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Cam Jordan really is a destination.
Well, I think the Saints also could go safety route with Caleb Downs, get their Honey Badger 2.0. I know it's a little different of style, but the Honey Badger was a big name back for the Saints. So maybe they go defensive route. I mean, who knows? We'll see.
I mean, there's still a whole lot of talented players available in this draft. I think it's interesting, at least based on what some of the other outlets are saying is the top available. Caleb Downs really stands out, but then a couple of receivers and a couple of tackles.
looks tired.
So if you need one of those positions and you're still like 4 picks out, you might be in an okay spot.
Roger Goodell pulling the strings right now, telling them to keep it going. I guess they're saying Sweet Caroline. He just wants that to keep going.
Well, let's find out who the pick is. New Orleans, a somewhat promising end of last year, but they got to get this pick right to really take that next step.
Kind of weird playing Sweet Caroline in Pittsburgh. I mean, y'all know that one chant?
Yeah,
I
well,
think they know what they were doing.
we do.
Here we go.
Here we go. Pick for the Saints. Jordan Tyson to the first round, and I know Robbie, if he were here, would say I had it the whole time because that is who he's talking about as a good pairing with the rest of their roster.
To the blue tent, actually. I mean, might as well put him on the sidelines. Also, what are we doing? Have suit, have
He's got. You see the pads?
biker pads. Or what was that? A leather jacket halfway down?
Looks like-
What are we doing? I mean, he looks as broken as a Saints receiver. Like he's gonna literally get killed out there.
I think the answer is in front of us the whole time. I think that is some extra protection because he knows he's going to get hit a lot on the Saints. He was showing he was ready to contribute to the New Orleans, their injury history. He was showing he's already padded up, he's prepared. It's kind of like when you ride a bike, you got training wheels, you got the helmet, and you got the elbow guards on in case you fall off. He's already prepared right here.
We just missed an opportunity to have both the Tyson brothers in Cleveland suffering. I mean, my goodness, that would have been a crazy pull, Cody.
I mean, in my opinion, you aren't suffering in
Holy
Cleveland.
hand up.
The future is bright for the Cleveland Browns, and yeah, we're gonna do it right. We got the 9th pick. I mean, there's 2 first-round picks for the Browns. I'm fired up tonight. I'm fired up. Got fire in my gut, some may say. Some would say that.
Yeah, some like the defensive coordinator of the Packers, Taylor.
Yes, Jonathan Gannon, new defensive coordinator. Don't know how I feel about it. He's crying.
He's crying
Sorry,
more than
I'm looking at
Fernando
Tyson.
Mendoza did.
No, I don't mind Gannon as
He didn't
defensive
punch the
coordinator.
Saints.
He was a good defensive coordinator, not a good head coach.
He didn't
They're gonna
punch
switch
the
their
Saints
defense.
logo. I mean, I guess he's crying, praying over it. I don't know what's doing.
He's yet to reach the stage.
Yeah, what do we do? Oh! I mean, talk about slobber, snot. What was that? Now he's acting like he's a gangster and walking all tough. Like, bro, you literally are crying like a baby, bro. What do we do?
Pierce is a little upset that the in-division rival New Orleans Saints made a good pick. He's a Panthers fan, a little bit threatened. He's a little bit threatened. He's a little bit threatened by the Saints offense. He's a little scared for the Panthers' sake.
I don't care what kind of chip on his shoulder he thinks he has. They're not going to do
He's
anything
just happy.
in
He's a happy
New
man.
Orleans. Well, he's trying to act like it. I mean, he is.
He's a happy man.
What do you put on? Is that tears on his lips? Like, why do they look so glossy? What are you doing?
I don't think Pierce had Tyson in his mock draft. Seems a little upset with the pick here.
I just didn't have the Saints picking at all. So, I mean, that's, just said get rid of them.
Browns pick is in. Cody Wagner, your thoughts? We think it's got to be offensive line. Do we
Sit
think
down.
it has to be Mr. Miami himself?
Yeah, I think it's almost guaranteed offensive line. That's what seems to me to only make sense. 2 receivers have already gone, which I think that Jordan Tyson was a reach. So I think there's no shot they go wide receiver. I think you got to go offensive line.
So no matter what we're thinking, we're getting pieces for Deshaun Watson to make his comeback.
No,
Is that what we're
no.
thinking?
Not what we're thinking at all. Hoping that Shador Sanders is making a return. He should be healthy for all that I know. And hoping that the team makes the right decision to start him.
I just don't understand why.
You think Shador is the right person to start?
I think without a doubt. I mean, based on what we've seen from the multiple different quarterbacks that Cleveland has had, Dylan Gabriel, no good last season. Shador Sanders got in there, showed flashes. Yeah, he had bad moments, but he was a rookie. He was able to throw the ball down the field. He flashed his arms sometimes. Deshaun Watson, the last time we've seen Deshaun Watson play well has not been in Cleveland. So I think that Shador for right now, yeah, maybe in a year or two we might end up drafting a quarterback, but I think give a year to Shador and we'll be able to see.
I seriously don't know what's wrong with Deshaun Watson. Like, why can't he come back to the league? Why can't he play? He was at an MVP type level not too long ago. I mean, like, I seemed like he cleaned up his act a little bit. He's locked in.
I think we know this.
Well, let's also be clear about his play level. I mean, obviously there's the off the field stuff,
What's wrong with-
obviously.
What happened?
But just for the play, he's had allegations.
I've
against
seen
him, Pierce.
videos of him and his wife driving the Jeep around. Like, it kind of seems like he's just having a good time with his wife. Like, I think he's been clean. Like, whatever happened in the past is the past, but it seems
I
like he's had
refuse to comment.
Deshaun Watson's not a bad quarterback. If he, who knows? He could've been training
Landon
with
Weaver
the
just
Cowboys.
whispered in my ear he thinks Browns might go Kyron Drones with this pick to get another quarterback. He was visiting with teams, Eagles, Jaguars, Packers even said Malik Willis comp. Don't know who was in that room, but they were rather impressed. You can see that on Twitter.
Look,
I forget the source for that.
Drones listed as the second to last quarterback in this entire draft class, behind Diego Pavia and Miller Moss, mind you. That guy is on LinkedIn
USC
now.
to Louisville.
LinkedIn
Here we go
University.
with the Cleveland Browns. They do go O-line. They go the other tackle. They go Spencer
Uh-oh.
Fano. He was listed as the second one.
Fine.
Cody Wagner,
I'm fine
unfortunately,
with it.
not picking the correct tackle.
mean-
We had one of two options. He flipped the coin. It landed on tails. So we
I mean,
still got no.
I mean, we might as well burn the mock draft. At this point.
We
mean,
burned that
Yeah.
after pick 2.
It couldn't get worse. But Spencer Fonham, fine, I guess. Like that's not who I thought we were gonna go with, but he's got good measurables. He's strong off the edge, and hey, it's still draft night.
I think you got to be happy you went offensive line overall. You didn't try to do something crazy. You went with the position you needed to. So clearly the Browns see something in Fano, but one of the top 2 tackle options.
I think the real question we're all wondering about Fano's ability is simply how is his bend? You know, how can he get off the line?
Go sit
Robert
back down.
Bateman with the.
There's
now
the
we
door.
now we have the Giants pick up.
Pick
be-
number 2. Who did they get the first time?
Boy, Robbie is not happy.
Yeah, I was going to say, Robbie Ackerley, a couple of quotes here. Leave it to Cleveland, total disaster. I don't know if this is a bigger disaster.
Spencer Fano. Oh, no. Spencer Fano cannot dance. Well, luckily, Cleveland does not get many touchdowns. You will not be needed doing many dances in Cleveland.
No dancing in the postseason either.
No
so,
dancing. They will be dancing to 4th in the division. Robbie Ackerley, also shout out to him, forgot that Cleveland was the 4th team of the AFC North just the other day, but can't admit that it's a total disaster. New York already with their pick in right here. Then they go Mauigoa. They go
And
the tackle
Cody
that Cody
has
wanted them to get.
left.
Good for Francis. Gets to avoid Cleveland. Gets to go to the New York Giants.
It's like I don't even think that the Giants were particularly in the market for an offensive lineman. But they said, yeah, this guy's still on the board. We're gonna get him.
Yeah, they
How
picked
did
that.
Cleveland
They picked that
not
pretty
get
quick
him?
too. I mean, that was pretty automatic. Now you have Miami up. Delane already went. If Delane was there by this pick, I would say that's probably where they'd go. But
I mean,
I feel like they need a go receiver. Respectfully, Malik Willis, like who is that guy
Taylor,
throwing to?
it's
Tyler
pretty
Jones,
comical
Trump,
at this point for Cleveland that you make the right decision. You move back. You're gonna get the top offensive lineman, and then you pick the wrong guy.
Seems a little fired up back there. I mean, my
IHOP trade alert popping
Oh,
up.
Miami.
Dolphins trading the pick
To Dallas.
One pick up. So they are worried. Dallas is worried that Miami. Who do we think that they think they were going
Now
to?
I
get?
want to
It's kind of
jump back over
interesting. Yeah,
here,
this
folks.
is-
Okay, because Cody's filling them out. Looking back, okay, yeah, this is a disaster, but he actually does have a lot of the names who did get picked at this point in the draft, just not quite the right places. It's like when you go to McDonald's, right? You got your food, but they didn't have the right order for you. So you are going to have dinner regardless. I mean, look at this, though. You had these players getting picked in the top 10, except for we haven't really seen Ruben Bain.
Wait, can we talk about Caleb Downs is still yet to go? I mean, that's crazy to me. He's one of the most talented guys in the draft. Yes, he's a safety, which isn't necessarily the most sought-after position, but we saw a running back get taken third. Talent is talent, and I am shocked that Caleb Downs is yet to go.
I think that Cody's on the money there. I think this will probably be Caleb Downs to Dallas. That makes the most sense to me for it to be Caleb Downs to Dallas. The pick's already in. They already know what they're doing. This draft is rolling. Shout out to the 8-minute clock.
Tech highlights.
Virginia Tech low lights, rather we should call it. Miami game PTSD for anyone that was there.
Oh,
Hail Mary.
Hail
Hail
Mary.
Mary.
Oof. Not great.
Put the ball in the hands of the ref. You're gonna lose every single time.
Yeah, but I do think that this one
Especially
will
when you play
probably be
Miami.
Downs to Dallas. That would be a great pick. And then Miami next.
Down in Dallas.
So Giants, I mean,
You know,
what Raleigh's like this time of year.
Rob, how we looking at the Toronto Raptors over there? We got Rob out in some NBA
I'm
playoffs.
still waiting for this trade
It is,
update.
yeah, I'm off camera, but it's currently 49-49. The Toronto Raptors.
Who's
have been
winning?
Playing well.
Who's winning in your mind? Who's winning in your mind? It's a tie game, but who's winning in your mind?
So the series hasn't actually started yet because the series doesn't start until the road team wins.
What
So
if the other?
Oh, boy.
True.
So it's never gonna start.
No. So as soon as Toronto takes Game 5 in Cleveland, I personally think the Raptors have the Cavaliers right where they want them.
Okay, Raptors down 2-0 in the series, exactly where they want them. Interesting take. Kind of like Cody Wagner big board. Not really sure what's going on there, but there's always some hope. But I do think Cody's on the money. I think Downs will probably be the pick to Dallas right here. The pick is in. It's pretty quick. Honestly, with this 8-minute clock, a lot of players, the pick before, take a couple minutes to get off the stage because they have to do a couple of interviews. And then to follow Dallas will be Miami because they swap picks, and then the Los Angeles Rams.
So the Cowboys get the 11th overall pick. Dolphins get 12, 177, and a 180. So that's like a fifth, either 2 fifths or a fifth and a sixth. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
I think that's 2 fifths. But we got a commercial break.
We do have a commercial break. Looking
We
at
do
a
not.
lawnmower right now, the 800 series, 11.1. What?
No promos, bro. No promos.
It's going too quick for me to read. It's going too quick for me to
Are you a
read.
still or an echo guy?
What?
Anybody? Nope. All right, we got no lawn care. What's up? I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you, brother. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I respect that.
We got Justin Jefferson
I didn't know
selling
there was more.
fridges for Lowe's now. Justin Jefferson at the Minnesota Wild playoff game the other day, getting the crowd hype. Pretty nice to see there, Mr. Klaus.
That was. I just wasn't quite happy to not get the win. But we got the win in the first game of the series, which
true.
is important for Minnesota. They can bounce back in that one.
A lot of Minnesota teams in the playoffs now, Riley. It's looking different in the Twin City.
It really is, unlike Cleveland, Ohio. I guess they do have.
Or
the
possibly
Cavs, though.
Brooklyn, Ohio, if
But,
the Browns were to
but,
relocate.
but Minnesota does have a lot of teams in the postseason. You're exactly right. The Timberwolves, I have some hope. Jaden McDaniels saying a whole lot, though, after the last game. They've got to figure that out. They look to get the win against the Nuggets. Stars in the Wild, great series. I think the Lynx getting Olivia Miles, actually a big draft choice right there. Shout out WNBA. And Minnesota Vikings, I think they'll be back in the postseason with Kyler Murray at the helm.
Very good chance. Very good chance. Do you think 3 NFC North teams will be in the playoffs? Do you think the division's that strong? Curious here how you view
I
that.
think we get 2, personally.
Do you think Vikings will win the division or be second and get it?
I think they'll be second. I think either the Lions or the Bears will take first this year. Last
Okay.
year, I really thought the Bears would take a step up. Lions took a step down. Yes, this year, I mean, the Packers, I just look at their roster, and on paper, I don't know if they could make it.
I think they got worse, in my opinion.
I think they got worse, but yet again, I can't really count them out. I think
know.
that between the Lions
They have a
and
lot
the Bears,
of question marks.
I think somebody will be first, and somebody might be third or fourth between the Lions and the Bears. And I think the Vikes will be maybe second or third there.
Okay. I think it could be a division full of a lot of teams between like 11 and 8 wins. And
Yeah,
it'll stack weird, kind of like this season. I mean, it'll just stack.
Yeah, just to pause the action, too. I mean, this draft has been ridiculous with the picks we've seen so far. I feel like a lot more shockers than last year overall.
Shout out Wichita State. Will we get anyone?
Wow,
from the
how about
Shockers?
that?
Well,
Fred Van Vliet.
Shout out the Toronto Raptors. Series hasn't started yet. They're already down 2-0.
They have them where they want them.
They have them
That
where
they
they
do.
want them, and the Cowboys have their pick in as they have for a long
Ooh,
while.
good
When we come
transition,
back from this
Taylor.
commercial, I think it'll be Dallas, Miami really quick because this pick will have been in for like 5 minutes.
Is Wichita in Nebraska or Kansas?
Okay, geography with Pierce.
Pierce McKnight, we're going to teach you about the state of Kansas, which is where
Imminently, the
Wichita
Dallas
is.
Cowboys are gonna pick.
How about this? Capital of that state, I believe Topeka. Gets a shout
Topeka
out
to the first round. Topeka goes pick 11 to Dallas. Here's
Let's
the
look at this trade. Did we really talk about
Oh, it
what
was
they
2
got?
fifth rounders.
2 fifths.
Pierce
Yeah,
McKnight
12.
is proud of his math.
Right. Breaking news.
Pierce knows how to do math, does not know where Wichita is. Kind of a
I'm pretty
Swiss
good at
Army
math.
knife that's a little bit broken on half of it. Has the tools, just needs to put them all together. Pierce,
Well, I
where's
mean,
Dallas?
Okay, let's be real. Dallas is on East Texas. It's right in a great spot, right next to Fort Worth. It's the
Okay, in Texas.
Metro.
Texas.
Shout out to
Pierce
Tex.
McKnight,
That's in Texas?
Texas.
Yeah, it's Texas.
Here we go with the Cowboys pick. Caleb Downs. There it is.
Wow, him and
Caleb
Jerry.
Downs absolutely smiling. He is happy.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
He knows he's about to get paid.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
well,
was.
yeah.
Or yes, he does.
Yeah,
Doesn't know.
like he's going somewhere where there's a lot of media publicity, but he played at the Ohio State University, so he's used to it. Caleb Downs, yeah, it's a good pick, good spot for him.
Yeah, now we got Miami up next. I feel like there's a good amount of needs for Miami. I really think they need to go receiver, especially bringing Malik Willis. Very strong at Green Bay, but I loved him following the Green Bay Packers. I loved him, but his sample size was so small. The games he played were very well, but it's not like he played a full 17-game season with Green Bay. He does have the flashes, and this is kind of to hype up Green Bay, I guess, in comparison to Miami. They just have success doing that with guys that'll be interesting going to Miami, going to a new system, a team with a weaker offense. You know what I mean? Way less weapons. You do have Achane in the backfield. That's a nice pass-catching running back weapon, but way less weapons for Willis. A whole different situation. Will be interesting to see how he pans out there. So I think that they might need to give someone for him to throw the ball to.
You talk about a small sample size. We haven't seen a lot of him in a while, even when he was at Liberty.
Yeah.
He didn't play a whole lot. There wasn't a whole lot. And obviously he's playing in the Conference USA, so.
But he's got Jesus, so he's going to be fine.
There you go.
Malik Willis got Jesus.
There you go. There you go. Caleb Downs. He's got the little tie. Isn't he have a tie clip? He has a tie clip showing. Does not know how to put on the tie clip. Kind of a sell. A pretty nice suit overall. He's in a lot of the purple. Pierce McKnight and Landon Weaver absolutely geeking over here.
I went in for the fist bump.
Oh, I missed it.
And Pierce just grabbed my hand. I guess he thought I was handing him something.
Pierce McKnight
down for the count.
fall into the second round.
On
We
the
might not
floor.
see him the rest of the night. You know, I'll give you a fist bump to make up for it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We did not get that one off.
Not great. Now we got a cut scene to Pierce McKnight on the floor. It's just like he's counting his losses for the night. He put all his eggs in one basket. He's throwing stones from a glass house. What's next, Taylor?
I dropped all my eggs. Oh, Pierce. Oh, Pierce. Hey, guys. Hey, happy birthday to the apartment. Whose birthday? Your birthday? Whose birthday? Well, happy belated. Happy belated. Happy belated. That is very.
You know, the crazy thing is it's somebody's birthday every day. So happy birthday to whoever's birthday it may be out there. We know you're watching.
Shout out Evan Ellis on Sunday, birthday.
Shout out Evan Ellis. Shout out the ACC Network.
I think his
Ready
birthday.
green, take green.
Whose birthday? I mean, we got Riley Red Zone's birthday coming up just shortly, a couple weeks away in the month of May. Riley, we excited?
Yeah, I am excited indeed.
Oh,
Oh my goodness! had to crest back into the shot. Yeah, we're having a great month here. Riley's Red Zone. It's April. I think May is going to be a really great one as well. So the Dolphins here. I do want to transition the topic of discussion.
There's a chance Cody Wagner could get one right. He does
Who did
have them
he
getting a
have?
receiver.
Makai Lemon.
Makai
That is
Lemon
on the
out of
board
USC.
indeed. That is. And now pre-draft, he was saying that was a crazy pick. But here he is with the chance to be right or just even
you
further
lose
to
Tyreek
the
Hill and Jalen Waddle. Like I'm sorry. I feel like you have to go receiver early.
I mean, they lose Bradley Chubb as well.
Yeah.
It just feels like they go a lot different. What do you feel about, having seen Malik Willis play a little bit, dropping to and really going all in with Malik Willis?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting getting a contract that big. I was just talking to Landon. Not the biggest of sample sizes. Again, the games he played for Green Bay was good. It made him promising. Does that make me want to throw $67 million at him and make him a starting quarterback for 3 years? I'm not fully sure. But, he's a younger guy. You see the promise. He didn't pan out in Tennessee. That's also what I was talking about. He goes to Tennessee, an organization that was in a messy situation, does not look good at all, didn't even throw a single touchdown, goes to Green Bay as a backup, blossoms there. Now you're going to Miami, a team that's also a little messy again. I don't know. Pierce McKnight getting spoiled on Twitter. I don't know if Malik Willis will be as good. I'm really hoping he is, though. He'll be alongside Jeff Hafley, is now there as well, head coach.
Oh,
wow. Offensive tackle. So they do want to
Caden
protect their
Proctor.
quarterback. They do want to protect their quarterback.
We got a 2-in-1. He also plays wide receiver from time to time.
You know what? I was thinking of this as well. Caden Proctor, a guy that can get out wide if you need him to. We saw what he did in goal-to-go situations.
Yeah.
If he gets on that NFL training, and works on his speed a little bit, that is totally a guy you could. I was kind of hoping he would go to Detroit so I could see what Dan Campbell would throw at him.
Make a tear.
But
yeah.
you know what? Miami, they're trying something new. They got to try stuff at this point. So why not? Why not throw Caden Proctor?
You
out
get a
there?
new quarterback. You want to protect him. Don't mind the pick. And you have a good running back as well. You want some good run blocking. Don't know too much about Proctor to know if his pass or run block is the stronger part of his game.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He is a big dude.
Very big. Purple suit as well. Lots of guys hoping that they would go to Baltimore. 6'6" and 5'8", 352 pounds. No, I'm saying they were in the purple. Well, because they're up first. I was just thinking they were up first. I was just kind of thinking in that order.
I don't think we'll see the counter again tonight.
Yeah. Well, we are maybe not see the counter again tonight, but we are going to swing it over to our very own big board mock draft expert. Some may say Cody Wagner.
Calling me an expert at this point in the night is a disaster. I mean, nothing is going right for me. I had Caden Proctor down at 17, but he's one of those big upside guys, right? It's someone clearly that Miami believes they can do a lot with. And that's how he came into this draft. Proctor, a big guy for an offensive tackle. The question is he going to be able to stay there in the NFL? We've seen some in recent years, bigger tackles moved inside to the interior O-line, mostly the guard position. But will Proctor be able to play at tackle? That's the big question. Boy, was he really good at Alabama. It's just, hey, can these big guys, can they move as well at the NFL level with how quick these defensive ends are nowadays?
Yeah, now we have the Rams up. I know a couple of us talked about, is this a possibility for Ty Simpson? Is that crazy to say? I'm not sure.
I think it's crazy. I don't think Ty
Yeah.
Simpson is a first-round level quarterback. I think it was a narrative put out by ESPN and Dan Orlovsky to try and get some clicks on First Take and other outlets. Ty Simpson, not great in
Here's
my
McKnight looking at Twitter too early again, saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa to Landon Weaver, a little bit different right here.
Watch out for Dano, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting with the Rams too, as you see on the graphic here. You lose some corners and you bring some corners in. They're a pretty solid team with not they are a Super Bowl level team right now. That's why it is interesting talking about the quarterback question with Stafford. I know he just literally won the MVP, so not acting like he's old and done, but to have a guy learn under someone like him and have him ready, I don't think Simpson's, the strongest of options compared to earlier drafts on quarterbacks that could go at 13th overall, but I think it's an interesting option for them to look at.
I'm with you. I think their corner room definitely improved a lot. They're just taking the Kansas City method, bringing in Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. I actually want to take a unique take on this pick, which I don't think we've really talked about. I want to take you a year ago from today, right? Because in my head, I'm like, how did the Rams have the 13th pick?
Yep.
The Atlanta Falcons going up to go get James Pierce. Didn't age the best so far. A year later, it is the Rams having a top 13 choice with, like you said, Taylor, a Super Bowl ready roster already on hand.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's very interesting. They're showing Ty Simpson right now. He's smiling and chatting a lot, but again, to Pierce's point, these could be a lot of pre-recorded things. He also seems way too comfortable and conversational.
He's very talky.
Very talky. Don't know if that means that he got picked or if he has all the time in the world because his name hasn't been called yet, and that could also be pre-recorded. But they did flash the camera on him. I don't know why I'm so tied to this narrative. I just feel like the Rams are a team that could take this current roster and win the Super Bowl right now, that maybe you just draft a piece like that for the future.
I mean, firstly, something insane just happened up behind me. Pierce destroyed a water bottle in like 10 seconds and then smashed it on the side of his head. Anyway, about Ty Simpson.
We're slamming bottles.
Anyway, about Ty Simpson, I think that he's a quality quarterback. I'm kind of with Landon. Maybe too much hype surrounding him at the moment. I think this would be a big reach for Los Angeles to take him here at 13. I don't hate the idea of Los Angeles taking him, but I think to take him at 13 is a big time jump of the gun.
Yeah, I think you give him somewhere to develop. If he's still there, at their next pick, then maybe. But 13, go get yourself some real talent that you're actually going to utilize maybe this season. Let that be that extra piece to get you over the edge and get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm even of the fast. I think I mentioned it earlier, and in my brain, I was thinking more like a trade up at the end of the first type of situation.
Yeah, that's why I thought maybe Cardinals would maybe do something.
Now, I want to turn to this section as well. He's there. He's in the green room. Not a sure thing first round pick. What are you thinking in terms of we're maybe not as big of a fan of Mendoza not going, but if you're a guy who gets invited and you're not sure if you're going to get picked or not, do you still go to the draft with the chance that you get the best moment of your life, also a chance of embarrassment if you don't get picked? What would be your mindset if you're kind of in that middle tier?
I think you gotta go because if you don't go and then you get picked, I think you're sitting there upset like, oh my god, I could have been there.
Yeah,
Pierce McKnight thinks he's a bum.
I think it just.
I think you gotta go. I think you gotta go. Sorry, I am fascinated. We got the new Minions movie commercial going on.
I think it
There's a
depends
lot
on the-
happening in Minions and Monsters.
I think it
Only in
dep-
theaters July 1st.
I think it depends on the type of guy you are, right? Like back in the day, Joe Thomas, he was just on the fishing boat when he got the call that he was going to be a first-round pick.
Cleveland Browns
Clearly,
mentioned.
clearly
by Cody
Fernando Mendoza
Wagner.
wanted to be at home. I think it just depends on who you are. If he wants to go to the draft, great for him. He might not get taken, which it's brutal to sit through the first round of the draft and not get taken. I do think that like, it's tough and unfortunate mentally to have to sit through the whole day and not get taken.
And that's why you don't take that risk. If you're even in question of going late first round, I think you don't take that risk. Like Ty Simpson, why are you there? You're probably not getting picked. That's kind of embarrassing because they keep cutting to him. Who was that? Who was the other quarterback or like position player a couple years ago that they just kept panning to and never?
Yeah, Levis.
Was that who
it was? Levis.
Yeah, like I mean, it's a terrible look. It's very like depressing. And then
Yeah, I think there's
a lot of other videos came out about him. Like it's just like it's never. It's just a bad look. It's really a bad look.
I think the interesting thing about Simpson is like he could be here, but if he's not here, it'll probably be a while, and no one's shocked by that compared to quarterbacks in the past, where it's like, oh my god, they keep taking other quarterbacks over them. I think this Simpson pick is like he could be here, but if not, it could be a while. But we had Olivia Rodrigo on that commercial. They transitioned into Roger Goodell. I thought that he was drafting Olivia Rodrigo with the pick, but
song and new album coming
new song. Robbie Ackerley would have some big input on the new song. He listened to it before me.
May 15th, Iceman, Drake.
May 15th, Iceman Drake. I keep looking at the monitor here. I got a point. Right at the camera. Drake in the Packers jacket. That means they will not be winning for a long time because of the Drake jersey curse. That's a very real thing.
Interesting how much they're showing Ty Simpson though. Like
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think
obviously, but I just seem
Just want to say they
it
showed a
seems
lot of
crazy
Jeremiah
that he
Love
would
when
get
the
taken
Cardinals
at
were
13.
up and they showed nobody else. I think it could be Simpson. Homer's brother.
The big boss
Would be getting
walking
selected.
onto the
Before it,
stage.
'cause I don't know if it's going to be him or not. I thought the recent news was Matthew Stafford was in talks to maybe extend him an extra year, at least through 2027. I think that would be.
Here we go.
Drunk Mark
let's
earlier
find
at the
out.
Beast. This actually said that they're going receiver, so we'll see.
There it is. Ty Simpson to the top 15.
Cody Wagner.
I mean, I didn't even have him going in the first
Cody
round.
Wagner did not even have him in the first
I thought he
round
was gonna
swinging
drop
a
out of the
miss.
first round. Like,
But that's not that's kind of my point though. It's
for
like maybe
him
here
to go
or not in the
13
first
is
round.
crazy. Like, you would think that the Rams would try to take someone that would impact you much quicker, but I mean, you're doing the Packers thing where it's like we're gonna take a quarterback and yeah, we're gonna take a quarterback and we're gonna trust that eventually he's gonna be the guy.
Yeah, can't lie. I'm a little disappointed in the Rams in this pick. I just don't see how this benefits you. You got Matthew Stafford, who's coming off an MVP season. He can't fall off that much this season that you're going to need Simpson right now. Yeah, 13th overall for a guy that was on a 3-loss Alabama team. Didn't do a whole lot. Kalen DeBoer getting an extension there too. Not great for the Crimson Tide. They're just struggling. I don't know. Ty Simpson just doesn't do it for me. He's got the Alabama bias to him.
Yeah, I mean, you think you view it as a little bit of a Mac Jones kind of a thing, like might not really last.
Worse than that. At least Mac Jones has like somewhat become a decent
True,
backup.
yeah,
we saw
yeah.
what he did with the 49ers earlier this season, but yeah, Ty Simpson, I
Oh,
don't know.
Rams called Matthew Stafford today to inform him that they plan to select Ty Simpson.
Oh,
So Stafford
that's
was aware.
interesting.
A
Not
little bit
Kirk
different
Cousins.
from the Green Bay Packers strategy to where they don't tell you at all. And Aaron Rodgers pops a lot
And
of
the
alcohol
Falcons
that same
too,
night.
with Kirk Cousins as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
But what I think is interesting is we talked about the
Cody
fact
Wagner
that
might grab number 4.
that Cody did not have him going in the first round, but
I'm sorry, I'm a Cody Wagner. He did the give it here. I wasn't ready to give it there. He's just going. I mean, we're gonna need an instant replay on that. Oh my God! I think we might have some star coming up right now, though.
okay, well let's turn it over to some expert in drip over in the kitchen, Pierce's place.
Well, here we are with the custom Ty Simpson jersey that will be. He'll be wearing number 95 for the Los Angeles Rams. Absolutely stunned the entire world with his number pick. Now that's 3 straight Bama players. We go purple suit with Proctor and Downs. Then we go the blue suit. Now we get a quick look.
There's a lot of options here. I'm sorry.
A lot of berries.
We go Capri Sun with the 14th pick to Baltimore.
Here we go. We never know. All right, we got back-to-back purple suits. Ty Simpson wore navy blue, so kind of seemed like he knew that he was going to go to LA as well. But here we are, Ty Simpson jersey. Lock it in at the 13th overall pick to LA.
Wow, that is unbelievable stuff right there. But to finish my thought, Cody did not have Ty Simpson go into the first round. Pierce was prepared with a custom jersey. So they were ready. But he did make a graphic. Cody responsible for a lot of the graphics.
Yeah,
we didn't have a Tyleek
mean,
Williams.
Burn the flipping mock draft at this point. I mean, you might as well stomp on it, throw it to the ground, do whatever you need to do to it. I mean, complete disaster. Ty Simpson going at 13. I didn't see any mock drafts with that. I'll just say that. We'll say that. But I mean, I guess it does make sense. Here's the thing. When you think through it does make sense. You're trying to go with your guy for the future. You would just think that the Rams would try to add more to their current roster and go try to get another Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a fascinating move. Like you said, not a lot of people really expected it. But this draft night, I think, has provided a whole lot more shock than last year's did. Wouldn't you agree, Tim?
I think it has. I'm so sorry, Cody, for that big board. I mean, that is just. Oh boy, no, okay. I don't think my big board would be good as well. I didn't make one, but looking at it, like honestly, once you surpass like Washington's pick, like I don't think mine would be that pretty as well. I saw Ty Simpson as a rumor. I really didn't see many people saying they would do it. It was kind of a don't be shocked if it happens, but I still am a little shocked that they did it. The Ravens here, Riley. Do we think they go O-line? I mean, you lose Linderbaum and you need a strong O-line. Right there in Baltimore.
I would agree. I think that's the spot. I want to turn to Cody since you're the expert. When you look at your board, who are you surprised is still available right now?
If I'm being honest, the biggest surprise is Ruben Bain. You aren't going to see him go off the board here to the Ravens, at least I wouldn't expect. But it is surprising that Ruben Bain's still on the board. There's been lots of questions about his wingspan. That's been kind of the limiting factor for Ruben Bain. At the college level, he was about as good as it gets. He was dominant. He's built like an athletic specimen. I mean, the guy is a physical freak. And I think the only question when it comes to Ruben Bain is that wingspan. But, yeah, not a ton of guys left that are super high on my big board. So
it seems like your big board's really about build. You talk a lot about like guys' frames, their length, like how long their arms are. But here we go with a guard. I'm not even trying to say his name. Landon, you got that one. Are you serious?
The Penn State guy?
Yeah.
Shout out. Oliva Vega Ioane. I don't know. We're just trying.
Olivia Vega Ione.
No. Olivia Rodrigo to the first round.
Olivia Rodrigo. I mean, I thought Olivia Rodrigo was a likely scenario. We get the closest name to Olivia to go.
Who's their
They
cameraman?
knew.
James
This was
Franklin took the camera.
purple team as well.
Cody, how's the build?
Yeah,
6'4", 1/4, and 320 pounds.
I mean, Vega Ioane, I think we went over the pronunciation beforehand. I can't remember
Olivia
exactly.
Rodrigo.
Vega Ioane is my how I remember it. But yeah, he's one of the top guards in this draft. The top guard actually in the draft. There just wasn't a ton of guards up on the board, and if you wanted to go interior offensive line, he was your guy. There weren't a ton of teams out there looking for interior offensive linemen. The Ravens were one of those. I thought that they would go tackle. They go inside with a wand, and it makes sense.
Yeah, that's a big bull right there.
I just want to say one more thing about Ty Simpson, then we can let it rest. They did show an inside look at the Rams draft room. Not a lot of smiles in there. It was pretty stoic. So I don't know if there was some disconnect. Yeah, who knows? That'll be a developing thing if it were to go anywhere. I'm just the guy looking up
It
from the
kind of
outside.
looks.
It's interesting too because they said they knew that they would pick him like that day. So is it we're not surprised because we knew we were gonna get him, or is it they're upset? That's interesting.
I mean, I guess kind of looks like Dano might be right. I mean, he's gonna be put in a great system that might be better than Mendoza. So all the haters keep talking, but I support Dano and I got his back. I think Ty Simpson might be the one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll see if the
I'm
Rams
capping.
ran out of the end of the end zone with this one. Who knows? But yeah,
We're gonna
Papa.
attempt right here on Riley's Red Zone to eat a Nature Valley Crunchy Bar, no spillage.
over under 3.5 bites.
yes.
Over under a half bite before a crumb spills.
I'm feeling confident. I'm gonna do a little. You open it so you make a pocket. Oh boy.
I also want to point out the amount of offensive linemen we've seen go off the board already. I think 4 of them, if I'm not miscounting, already to this point, 3
Have they all
tackles
been-
and a guard. I mean, it's surprising to see these teams loading up on offensive linemen, but at the same time, that's been
They
a
gotta load
huge
that bend.
emphasis on recent years, trying to get big up front.
So would you say they had to load up on the bend? No.
No comment.
Rob liked it.
No spill. No
Is it good?
spill.
Is it good?
Of course.
Okay, Nature
Literal
Valley Bar.
crumb.
Well, we aren't sponsored, but
Brother.
they are indeed where. It's gonna be Tampa Bay next. You know, I have them going Kenyon Sadiq, but it doesn't matter what I have to say.
Yeah, we know.
Clearly, it doesn't. So we'll see where they
So
go.
if Cody's right here, it doesn't matter.
No,
Until
it
it
doesn't.
matters.
It doesn't. There will be no. You'll see no celebration on my face if they take Kenyon.
Nah, I
Sadiq.
think Tampa
when
Bay's
you're
got a decent
this
tight end.
wrong,
I thought.
there's no way back at some point.
Oh, they got Alex. What's that? I can't read the last name. From the
Antetokounmpo.
Detroit? No.
Oh,
no.
Anzalone.
Anzalone. That's a pretty
Yeah.
good pickup.
Yeah.
Lost Mike Evans.
Crunch bar.
Oof. Also,
They're impossible.
Yeah, Mike
y'all didn't
Evans.
put David
it's-
on there. Y'all didn't even think about that. David retired.
Yeah, Levante
Levante
David.
David.
Yeah.
Well, another franchise in the NFC South that's pummeling to the bottom. I mean, my goodness, it's. I don't know what this guy's talking about. I mean, oh, okay.
Well, Mike
Random
Evans.
is
We're going for a
Blitz.
big
I mean-
bite right here.
Okay.
Guys, thoughts on Mike Evans leaving? I don't even know what's
you even
going
bite?
on.
I'm a big bite.
Okay, Pierce, thoughts
Hey.
on Mike Evans?
Big
leaving?
bite for the big
Well,
boy.
it's really helpful for us as a Panthers fan. It's really good to get him the heck out of the division. I have a lot of respect. He's pretty good, but kind of glad to see him go. Probably one of the best things for him. You did spell. I don't know. The Bucs are in a weird situation. It kind of seemed like they had a chance. They're kind of on the downfall last year. Just Baker Mayfield dealing with injuries that he didn't really talk about. I mean, now he's got a kid, so now he's gonna be a little restless. We'll see how he does in the season. So I don't know how this team's gonna work out. They lost their centerpiece in the defense. I guess Vea's still there. I'm assuming. So I don't know. I think the Bucs are probably gonna go back on a rebuild soon because they have so many vets on that squad that I think won't last for
Do
too
we
long.
think a tight end makes sense here?
If I remember right, they had a decent random white tight end. Like,
Cade Otton.
is that who it is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cade
he
Otton.
wasn't bad. Like, he kind of seemed like he clutched up a lot against the Panthers when they needed him most. It's always a great. If a quarterback has a great tight end, then that's going to be their safety valve. With Mike Evans going, I guess they could go to a 2 tight end look, but who knows? I mean, they could go another wide receiver to replace Mike Evans. They got what's his name? Abuka? No. Was it?
Yeah.
Abuka?
Emeka Egbuka.
Hey, is that right? Godwin's still got to come back at some point, does he not? So, I mean, they could get a third wide receiver. Maybe they get load up on the tight end and get a 2 tight end look. So, I wouldn't be necessarily shocked, but I don't think it's necessarily a necessity for the Buccaneers to get a tight end here.
Yeah. Everyone has left. No one cares about
I
the
know.
Buccaneers pick.
I mean, no one cares about the NFC South. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
depressing. Kansas City over here. All right.
I will say I've now completed the Nature Valley Crunch Bar after this last big bite.
Dude, you're more and more crumbs are coming on the couch. Like, dude, that's a lot. That's a lot.
This is an impossible task.
Ruben Bain. So they go defense to get an edge piece.
Cody Wagner not right again.
Swing
what we
and a
talked
miss.
about Ruben Bain was it dropped a lot more than I thought he was going to. Ruben Bain's a quality guy out of Miami. He's very good college season. Shocked that he went this low. I mean, he's a physical freak.
So question, doesn't Vea have short arms? The whole family's got a brown suit on.
I actually think it's pretty dapper, like, because
I
they
think
all
it's
went
sick.
accented differently. Like,
Yeah.
one's got pinstripes.
That looks really
I'm
good.
rocking with it.
Yeah, I mean, impressive to have the whole family suited up. I don't know that I've seen that one before. They had it planned out, the fits.
Even the photographer from behind him has
Yeah.
brown on.
Yeah.
So, Pierce, can I ask you this?
Okay.
As our drip analyst,
Yes.
what would be your go-to draft day outfit?
Well, I'm thinking hit the gym a lot before, get the nice six-pack in there, go shirtless with a suit top. Inside of it,
You have a Robbie Ackerley
oh
phone call.
no.
We're going to...
I don't know. I the inside would be questionable. I don't know what exactly I would do. Pants wise, we would do some kind of like sweatpants suit action. Maybe create something of my own, and honestly, probably some J's.
What's the ice looking like? We got a big
Oh,
chain.
so we
are
got-
going rings.
We like a lot of rope, so let's get 2 rope chains, probably a diamond chain. We'll probably get a rope bracelet, all gold, of course, not a silver guy. Maybe get some fake earrings. Maybe get 2 fake earrings, big
You
ice.
studded out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be trying to drip as much as I can.
Yep.
Rob, what are your thoughts
Cody
on
might grab
ice?
number 5.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on ice or drip?
We're gonna grab the mic back right here. Robbie Ackerley is going to get an Uber via me, and we'll be here for the later round. So I will be back.
Scary.
What are your thoughts on
sight.
drip or ice as it's known?
I need my keys.
Ice is scary.
I've always been a big fan of jewelry. I actually have worn a chain every day since like middle school. I actually used to wear a ring as well. So yeah, I've always been a fan of ice. I think accenting outfits is just the way to go. I love having a watch on. And yeah, I'm a big fan of ice. I think having, a little K on your wrist, it just makes you feel a little more sophisticated.
I'm not a big watch guy, but that's just me. Can't really do it. Wouldn't mind a ring. I probably do like something like on my pointer finger, maybe something a little different.
When I'm going wedding ring, I'm thinking like I want like a black band.
Black band?
That's my thought process right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking black and gold. Black and gold band, like
something
that's
along those lines.
yeah, because I wear gold. I really big gold. I love black and gold. Klaus's butt makes an appearance on the camera. But yeah, I think something along those lines. Maybe either black and gold, black or wood. A little wood action.
We got the Jets pick in for number 16. I'm going to take a quick peek at the Cody Wagner mock draft.
Don't pay attention to this. This was a swing. It's not gonna happen.
Okay, Cody took a big swing. He does not want to claim it. So, Riley, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think the New York Jets go with here?
Jets.
Hear me out now. I didn't see the Bucks take Ruben Bain.
They took Ruben Bain.
Short arms.
Look out, Makai Lemon, right here. That's my side. I think a receiver is who they could use. So any of the receivers.
We'll be back.
I actually really like that. I was a little surprised to see Makai Lemon drop this far. I thought he would have been probably the second or third wide receiver off the board.
It's been interesting. We haven't seen a receiver in a little bit, right? We saw the 2 go very early in the draft, higher than I expected, but we haven't seen one in a little while. I think there's a good shot you go in here.
So something to note that just happened. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. See you, Cody. I don't know where you're going, but goodbye. Jump scare. So it's about to get. We'll have to turn the audio levels down once it gets here.
Landon, I think
But,
you should take over the mock draft.
The player cards, they're printing them out like immediately because they just had Bane in a Bucks holding up a Bucks jersey. Like that's kind of crazy how fast they're getting those out.
Oh, so not a receiver, but still a offensive gadget, fun player to work with.
Sadiq is really the only tight end of any note in this draft.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I really think that just kind of wipes out the tight end class. Sadiq is a great pick after all.
Yeah, I'm with you in this draft. That's the big one to look out for is Sadiq, and beyond that, I don't know what else there is in the tight end. Like you said, it kind of just knocks out a whole position off the board. But speaking of the board, why don't we go ahead and after I get this graphic clicked here, let's go over to not Cody, but a different person who knows what's going on.
What's up, everybody? All right, so mock draft board. Cody actually wasn't too far off on this pick. He had Kenyon Sadiq at 15 going to the Buccaneers. Now he's going over to the Jets. Look, Sadiq is a really, really good tight end, a guy that showcased a lot of speed, a lot of promise, had a really good combine. I think he's somebody that can come in and help out the Jets. And they obviously a defensive-minded coach in Aaron Glenn, but now you get a guy like Kenyon Sadiq. He's a jack of all trades at the tight end position.
Yeah, I think it's a really good overall player that they can work with, and we talk about people that can use players really well. We're already to Detroit's pick. I like Sadiq there. I think it's interesting, though, when we take a look at what the Jets did here. I think they need a really good draft class for Aaron Glenn and everyone to remain in confidence. I think these are two good players. I don't know if they're going to be Hall of Fame instant impact type, which he might need. So I'm fascinated to see because I think Sadiq is more of an upside swing type of pick.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of upside. I think you got to take risks at this point if you're the Jets. You haven't had anything really going for you in a very long time. You have an insanely long playoff drought. I'm not saying Sadiq's going to be a player that gets you to the playoffs, but he can certainly get you on your way if he pans out the way that you'd want him to.
So the Lions will get the next pick in this draft. I just can't believe this draft has felt a whole lot more unpredictable than last year's. And I think that's provided a whole lot of entertainment. We've gotten quarterbacks. We've gotten trades, picks we didn't expect. Clearly, our expert Cody didn't expect a lot of what happened already. But Detroit, I think, is in an interesting spot after kind of taking a step down last year. They're looking to reload.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who they're going to want to take here. That's more Cody's job. I'm just filling in for him. But, yeah, the Lions definitely a down year last year with Dan Campbell. But they were still in a good spot. They barely missed the playoffs, right? If I'm not mistaken. Did they make it? They missed it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you get a guy that's going to aid you, but I think their roster's pretty good. You still have Jared Goff. You still have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive end. So I think you're pretty much set.
Yeah, we got to see what they do. They did miss the playoffs last year, a step down. I think a key storyline to next year is no longer Sonic and Knuckles. They don't have both Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. It's now Jahmyr Gibbs and Isaiah Pacheco, who I think is also a good running back that provides a little bit of, once again, the speed from Gibbs, the power from Pacheco. So I think that's still a good combo, but it is a change-up in terms of what that backfield looks like for Detroit in a competitive division, it feels like.
Yeah, and I just got to say it. Scotty Barnes is putting on an absolute show right now. The Raptors are leading over the Cavs. This is important stuff, people.
CJ McCollum game winner.
Yeah, C.J. McCollum also did hit a game winner.
No
the
way,
Hawks
again?
up 2-1 over the Knicks
Again?
right now.
That's
I mean, this is huge implications for the East. McCollum, 32 in the last game for the Hawks, and now a buzzer beater. He might be making some noise, C.J. McCollum, in the NBA playoffs at the ripe old age of, I believe, 32.
Yeah, he's still trying to play his best basketball out there. I'm looking at right now the draft order. Detroit and Minnesota back-to-back, and then it feels like Green Bay without the Mike injury, you guys really could have made a run.
Yeah, the Packers, Taylor mentioned it earlier, and I have to just echo his point. Green Bay has a lot of question marks. It could either be a year where the Packers scrape their way into the playoffs and maybe win a first-round game, blow out the Cowboys per usual, or it could be a year where Green Bay really sees themselves fall drastically for the first time in really the Jordan Love era since he's became a out-and-out starter.
So What are your thoughts on kickers? I know like kickers have been a big issue, especially for like against the Carolina Panthers, where you just got absolutely slapped in the face by Bryce Young. I mean, it was actually insane. You had multiple chances to kick field goals to get points, just couldn't get it done. What are your thoughts on not drafting a kicker, but looking for a kicker later on in the draft, maybe?
I actually, last year, if you're a fan coming back for year 2 of the Riley Red Zone draft show, I preached for Green Bay to draft a kicker.
You did?
To which Robbie Ackerley and Taylor Brettel went, "We just signed McManus. We'll be fine. He's fantastic." And Robert Bateman said, "Oh, no, no, no." And I happened to be right. So here's the thing. I don't think Green Bay has a long-term solution at kicker. McManus is on contract still, so he's going to be the guy. But I wouldn't mind if they took a guy late in this draft just to, get a fail-safe in at the kicking position.
Well, currently with the draft, it is Detroit with the selection, and they're getting ready for their pick. I think Detroit is still in that hovering territory where they're not the clear top dog anymore in the division, but they can still make a mark this next year.
Klaus, as a fellow NFC North fan, I think you can agree with me. The division just feels like it has been blown wide open this year.
I think so, and what's interesting is usually I feel like when you say that, it's, okay, there's 4 teams and we don't know who's going to win it. I think there's 4 legit squads in that division this year, and for that reason, I don't know who's going to get the win. I actually, for that purpose, think the teams in the Vikings and the Lions who didn't make the playoffs last year, they'll have a slightly easier schedule, which may even be the difference maker when it's all said and done because of how talented all 4 are this year. So we're waiting for the Lions pick. Wasn't able to hear the story, but they have a younger guy making the selection, getting a whole lot of claps.
Cool Make-A-Wish kid story.
All right, Make-A-Wish kid story, getting everyone involved, and love to see the crowd was clapping for him because I knew there was going to be some significance to who this was. Blake Miller, the pick. Well, you said earlier when an offensive tackle was taken, you wanted to see what Dan Campbell could maybe do with it. They do take one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like a Proctor kind of guy, but where he can split out wide. But you never know. Dan Campbell loves his offensive tackles and getting them involved in a goal-to-go situation. So, yeah, I don't know much about this guy, to be honest. I don't even remember seeing him on Cody's big board. But, yeah.
Uh-oh. Hey, could you study over there, Rob?
Yeah,
See if he's even.
Rob.
See if he's over there.
Rob surveying. Oh, I see.
Oh, here we go.
23.
23 to Philly. So Cody, okay, here's the thing. Like, we're going to make fun of him. The mock draft is dreadful. Like, I'm not going to give him any kudos to this draft. He got the first 2 picks right, and since he hasn't hit a single one. But here's the thing. Every single player we've seen drafted has been projected by Cody. He might be a little off on where they're going, but you got to give credit to C-Wags. I mean, he listed 32 guys who we might all see get drafted this night 1. He's perfect so far through 17 picks and, just over halfway. Let's see if Cody can keep hitting on the guys who he at least thought would go day 1.
Somewhat perfect. Perfect has a broad spectrum tonight, I guess. But, we saw on the ticker, this confirms that Penei Sewell is going to move to left tackle for the Detroit Lions. So, of any significance, Sewell will be on that left side, and we'll see where Blake Miller slots in for this Lions squad. Maybe some extra protection for Jared Goff, but a big guy from Clemson. And, Dabo Swinney likes to produce his big pick coming up right here, Riley.
And the Vikings already have their pick because I think the situation laid out perfectly for them. It's got to be Dylan Thieneman here, safety from Oregon, in my opinion. They were already ready to take the pick, and instead it's Caleb Banks. I like the upside of this selection. I think that it's given me shades of a few years ago when they could have just taken Kyle Hamilton. Instead, they went with Lewis Seen. But we got to go to the big board, Rob. Do we see this guy?
So Cody Wagner was doing fantastic at least having the guys on his mock draft who would get picked today. But if you look behind me, Caleb Banks, yeah, he's not in here. So Cody Wagner officially, I think there needs to be questions of Cody Wagner competing for his mock draft spot next year. Maybe a Robbie Ackerley Cody Wagner challenge gets placed tonight. I don't know. I think we could have some fun because Cody Wagner clearly has his job on the line with the simple fact that the kid can't hit his picks.
as well.
Eagles to 20th overall pick.
Okay, Pierce on the back is saying the Eagles are trading up to 20 with their division rival Dallas, huh? Yeah, it looks like it. But Cody didn't have Caleb Banks' first round. You know what he also didn't have him in? The graphics. And so my team took a player who didn't make Cody Wagner's top like 45, 50 players. Don't know how to feel about that. But the thing is,
UT Chattanooga to the first
But
round.
the thing is, Caleb Banks, I've heard a lot about him and seen it as well. His upside is tremendous here. The staff obviously must have fallen in love. I will give credit to Brian Flores is going to make something work. They lose the defensive line. You look at those losses. I think defensive line was their biggest positional need. Perhaps. I know that our graphics guy put safety. I do think Dylan Thieneman would have been a better pick because of the value of a better player. But if you're talking filling a need, I think the swing of Caleb Banks here reminds me more of like a Sharif Floyd type of pick for the Vikings. I don't know about a John Randall or any of the Williams brothers, but there's been a lot of great D linemen to go up in the Twin Cities, and maybe Caleb Banks is the next to join them. They brought back Jalen Redmond officially, which was huge. He really flashed last year. So a swing, but we got no graphic.
Yeah, Riley, I honestly am a little surprised. I thought the secondary was definitely where the Vikings needed the most help. So my apologies. D-line can definitely help with that, pass rushing and whatnot. But I am also a little shocked to see the Vikings steer clear of the secondary in the first round.
Cowboys get 23, a 4th, and a 5th.
So the Cowboys will be getting the 23, 4th, and a 5th round pick for the 20th pick. Should
So
be
we're seeing
pretty
trade?
interesting. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of movement. Pierce, I'm a little shocked you don't want to be over here for your team, the Carolina Panthers pick. He's ready for an ISO. All right.
So we got to wait to see who that is. But I'm interested to see what he thinks the team should do because, I've already forgotten. Have they picked this evening?
The Carolina Panthers have
Oh, yeah,
not
because
picked.
they have not because now they're actually almost a playoff-ready team, which is huge for them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the needs, and I will say the addition of Rasheed Walker, I definitely think that will be a big help on their line. Losing Rico Dowdle will be tough in the backfield. It's kind of funny because I feel like the Panthers could have benefited most from a guy like Kenyon Sadiq, and he's not there anymore, and the tight end class just isn't really that great this year, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like you said, when Sadiq got picked, it wiped out the whole thing. Feels like Carolina, since Greg Olsen was gone, has had a rotation of what they were going to do. They've tried it with Tommy Tremble a little bit. Ian Thomas was a take. They haven't really been able to find their answer yet, so tight end a huge need, not available for this pick like you mentioned. And so with that, where else do they go? I think this could be fascinating for a wide receiver. According to our mock draft expert, Cody, I'm looking at Omar Cooper potentially being a selection. I know some people are really all in on him, some people not quite. So I think he could be in play here.
The Raptors leading at the end of the third quarter, 83-81. We got the Cavs right where we want them, baby. Series doesn't start until the road team wins.
Well, I know somebody that's anxiously awaiting who this pick is, and we're going to turn after him, is a Panthers fan in Pierce. Because depending on what this pick is, he's going to have a really strong reaction. And hopefully for him, the person that they pick is wearing good drip. Because that's what it's all about when it's all said and done. Because
Dallas also receiving a 7th round pick from the Eagles.
Pierce with the updates on the trades this evening is our little insider. Dallas, a 7th round pick just made the worth mentioning. Even though we were on day one talking about the first 32, we're at pick number 19. Pick is in. Roger Goodell, I assume, will be going out there. But as we've seen tonight, different people can go out there with them. Someone else can fully, I think, take the pick. That looks like a Mr. Goodell, though, to me from a distance. Keep pounding, visible on the flag for Carolina. We've got the famous sound, and here comes the pick. Carolina Panthers. Monroe Freeling, a lineman for the Panthers. And so I want to know more about what the faithful are thinking from Carolina. So let's go over to our man Pierce's place to find out more.
I'm getting emotional. I got the new Bryce Young jersey right here. We are trying to protect him. We're not getting him pieces. We're not building the defense. We're protecting him. We don't need him to scramble anymore. We're going to make sure he has a strong pocket presence like he did at Alabama. He's going to lead us to a Super Bowl in the next few years. And I'm just so happy. I was hoping for a trade back. I was hoping to get some more picks. But honestly, I'm fine with this. We get depth at the tackle position. We had a few injuries on that last season. I'm just so glad, so glad we didn't take a stupid wide receiver and take a bet. Oh my goodness, Dan Morgan, you are a saint, brother. Not a saint, but But Bryce Young, the future. I'm getting emotional. Congratulations, Carolina Panthers. We did it.
Wow, that is a heavy testimonial from Pierce over there. He sounds like he's hyped and his team could win the Super Bowl, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, Pierce McKnight fired up. I personally don't think Freeling adds that much. I mean, Bryce Young does need to be protected a little more, but they picked up Rasheed Walker. So I guess you just strengthen the line even more. But Eagles already have their pick in at 20. Keep in mind they traded up, swapping with Dallas for this pick. So let's see who Philadelphia wants to add. Goodell already back up to the podium. There's the sound, and here's the pick.
Trading with a division rival means they had to have gotten something good. And they go with Mekhi Lemon.
I was just about to mention, I was surprised he was still around. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a big fan of Lemon.
This is a fascinating draft choice. I mean, how many picks ago was that the Jets that I thought he could have been in play? I think this also tells us a lot potentially about A.J. Brown because the Eagles, it sounds like, are pretty confident they'll move on with him post-June 1st. I think that the Patriots apparently
Rumor
seem to be
has
the
it A.J.
destination.
Brown already has his number picked out with the New England Patriots per sources.
Wow.
Is it the same sources that are?
Well, that is going to
Said source recently deleted Twitter. Moving on.
yeah. Well, Mekhi Lemon, the choice for Philadelphia, adds to it. Feels like a stacked roster.
This guy is the biggest disappointment. Not with the skill on the field. His name is Lemon, and he has a gray pinstripe suit with a maroon tie. Not even close to what a
you gotta
Lemon.
get at least a touch of yellow in
Like,
there.
we don't have any yellow. We got the cool shades, I guess, and we're holding back tears. But, like, it's not even the maroon tie is not even UFC colors. Like, I don't know where the color combo went, but this is horrendous.
Well, I once again got to go back to the fact that if you're Philadelphia here, they trade up to go get this guy, and they do it with Dallas. Clearly looking at the other needs. Do you think Pittsburgh maybe was interested in Mekhi Lemon, that they have to go and jump them?
I don't think Pitt would have been interested, but I could actually see the Chargers being the team interested because at the end of the day, Justin Herbert needs more weapons, and Lemon would have been a really good guy for the Chargers. So the Eagles jump up, and honestly, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm a little shocked that they gave up their pick there for the Eagles to move up because I think Mekhi Lemon will really help a wide receiver core that seemingly is going to be losing its best guy.
I would absolutely agreed. I mean, I'm even looking at the bottom. So it's – I love how, too, it's even an expected trade to New England. It is even how they're reporting it. Not just a trade, but they have the destination. June 1st –
even when – what you've learned in the NFL recently is even when there's engagements in place, sometimes there's other shenanigans going on behind the scenes.
Without a doubt, we don't know what's going on at any moment. You got to make sure that everyone's on the same page. And so with Pittsburgh now on the clock, they still haven't made the pick, and there's a minute left. Forgive me if I'm incorrect, but this feels like one of the lowest times remaining we've seen all night.
Yeah, I mean, the 8-minute clock, I will say to anyone who really keeps track of the draft time, we've been moving pretty quick. I was doing the math earlier. With 10 minutes, the draft typically ironed out to about 5.5 hours. They said that the draft would take about 4.5 with the clock shrinkage, and honestly, we're making good time. The draft started at 8 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock right now, and we're over halfway through.
And we are at pick number 21. Pick is in for the Steelers. We're talking at the very, very beginning because they're hosting this draft that we don't know what the deal is with Aaron Rodgers. Mike McCarthy is the selection. Let's talk about the hiring, by the way. You're obviously familiar with him as a Packers former head coach. But historically, it feels like Pittsburgh has picked a guy that sticks with them for a long, long time. That was especially the case with Mike Tomlin. Are we at all surprised that they decided to go the older, more proven guy who probably is on the back nine of his coaching career?
I was incredibly surprised. To me, it honestly felt like this was almost Aaron Rodgers picking a guy who they're going to go all in for another year. Mike McCarthy, I mean, you saw it at the Cowboys. He can bring teams to the playoffs, but it's the same issue he had when he was in Green Bay. He can make it to the promised land, but doesn't win the big games when it really matters. So I'm really surprised that Pittsburgh went that direction. I expected a young upstart coach similar to the Pittsburgh model, bring in a guy who you've got a lot of faith in, you think can be proven. And I mean, it worked with Mike Tomlin for years.
Well, they are up to the pick, and I am pretty confident this pick probably will take a little bit longer. They're going to need all the glitz and glamour for this hometown team selection.
You think they're going to bring out any special guests to announce this one?
Aaron Rodgers.
Pierce just said Aaron Rodgers just from the – I mean, that could be a move and a half right
Quick
there.
segue to the last pick. The Eagles have made their 4th wide receiver addition in a little over than a month. They've drafted Mekhi Lemon, or McKay, whatever his name is, tonight. Hollywood Brown on March 17th. Elijah Moore they signed on March 24th. And then they traded for Dontavion Wicks April 10th. So it's looking more and more likely that A.J. Brown will be booted out of town.
Sorry, can I just mention, we're having a full-on concert right now at the NFL draft.
Yeah, what are we doing?
What is this? Guys,
Mickey Mouse.
what is this? I get you want to do everything for the home city, but
Oh, mama.
what's going on?
That's what they're singing.
Yeah, Pat McAfee's the only reason I'm really knowing what's going on right now.
Exactly.
But yeah, as you said though, Landon, this looks like a concert right now. They're swinging all the terrible towels. I mean, this is a full-on show. There is a full-on production that is happening at the moment. But to really quick go back to Philadelphia, Pierce, I think what's interesting, you mentioned that many additions. None of those are an alpha. I think that
Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown could be pretty good, but I think that Devontae Smith, and I think Smith is a really good ball player, they're going to have a lot of trust in him to take that step up.
Yeah.
As he's been kind of I'd say the Robin to A.J. Brown's Batman. I liked him a lot coming out of the draft, but he's going to have to take a big leap to that wide receiver one, very likely.
Yeah, I think that the Mekhi Lemon addition is pretty big considering the whole situation with A.J. Brown right now. Right now, you need to get him out of Philadelphia. He's just not helping you at all. Oh, yeah. This is
so
Oh,
and now it
my. We
looks
got
like
a whole
they're
squad
bringing out
emerging.
Is that high school players?
I think so.
Is that a local high school? Can't tell.
Yeah, high school.
Allendice? That's what it says on their jersey. Yeah, this is a whole production.
This is. Wait, there are actually. How many are there? There's seven students and Roger Goodell. And this is a whole thing, folks, that they are out there on the stage. Different high schools, I have to
I
imagine.
guess they're all in the Pittsburgh area.
Where's Plum?
Yeah. Oh, and then there's Jerome Bettis, I believe, making the pick. I mean, that's a way to
Boss.
have that going on. I'll tell you this, though.
Roger Goodell is touching young girls.
Yeah.
Young women.
Well, I'll tell you this. The Chargers at number 22 have had a long time to make a selection because, I mean, this pick is taking a very long time. Okay, now Jerome Bettis is giving the whole background to how he got chosen to make this pick. They're getting ready to make the selection. But, yeah, the Chargers have already probably made their pick as well. Oh, Max Iannaccio, I believe is how you say it. Arizona State offensive tackle. This is a good ball player for him.
And you bring in a tackle. Are you trying to protect, bringing in extra protection for Rodgers in what could be his final season? That's a very telling pick, I think, from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I definitely think it does set the tone. Like you said, if you're trying to even convince Rodgers to come back, that's the reason why you get more health up front. Feels like you got to take care of him, keep him protected, and I think this is a great protector that they bring up to the front. It feels like they've invested a lot in the offensive line as of late, but you can never run out of good ball players up front.
Yeah, this is a guy that was part of a college football playoff team in Arizona State. They had a really good run game with Cam Scatteraboo, obviously Sam Levitt, a running quarterback that they were able to protect as well. So, yeah, this is a good pick for Pittsburgh. Now you've got that front line for them is just it's insane. Their tight ends are like you think about Freiermuth and his ability to pass block and run block, and then now you got this guy also on the O line. Yeah, Pittsburgh is looking good right now in a division that it looks uncertain who that A1 team is. We got a lot of mid over there apart from the Browns.
It's crazy to think what that division. It feels like for the
And
last.
that guy needs to pull his
Okay. Oh man. Luckily, we didn't. Luckily, we.
Drip check.
Well, we had the butt cheeks were clenched. We had a little bit too much butt action. It looked like the underwear was actually a little caught up, if you will. So that's not gonna pass. But
drip or drown.
Drown. We're drowning. I don't know what he's wearing. Like, I mean, it's a flannel that has bedazzled diamonds on it.
Are you a fan of the ice?
Not that kind of ice. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel. wait.
I'll tell you that luckily for you guys, we just have the couch that's visible here of the draft stream. Because I mean, you gotta think about it, right? When you're in that ESPN control room, you never know what is going to show up there, and you gotta be ready when you're turning to whatever camera. Obviously, they're gonna go to the guy who got picked, not expecting whatever could appear out there.
You got to know where the camera is at all times.
I mean, full moon out tonight.
Yeah, full moon, as Robert Bateman just said.
Well,
Yeah, no
luckily,
doubt on the forecast.
Luckily, we're still sunny over here in well, not really. It's dark outside, but having a good time for this extravaganza.
Anything's better than that.
And let me tell you, I think I lied, folks. Apologies. The Chargers still had about 2 minutes before they made their selection moments ago, and I thought they were already going to have it wrapped up, keep this thing moving. But they took their time here. They're in an interesting spot. It feels like they're just in an eternal first-round exit phase with Justin Herbert. I mean, he is a talented ball player at the quarterback spot. You have to maximize what you could get with your time with him, but I just don't think they've been able to figure out a formula to get over the hump yet.
You think this is it?
I think this could be the year. If they make some good choices, I think that they could be in rhythm. The Chargers? Yeah, they could. They didn't lose a whole ton. I mean, they trade for Owe from Baltimore, and they get a nice season from him, and then they let him go. But besides that, honestly, not much losses. They go out and get Biotish as the center spot. Charlie Kolar, a good versatile piece. Cole Strange just went to the Chargers. I think that's a good addition as well. But here we go. Akeem Mesidor. I like this pick for Los Angeles. The biggest concern with this guy literally is his age. I mean, that is something that if that's your end-all, be-all concern and you're talking about a playoff contending team, I love the pick for Los Angeles.
And I assume that means that he's older than most, right? So
25.
yeah, the fact that he's already seasoned as a collegiate player, I don't think it's going to take much for him to become that guy in the pros. I think that's a great pick for the Chargers. This is a guy that, along with Ruben Bain last year, was a force on that Miami defensive edge. And yeah, now you talk about helping the Chargers. That's what their one problem has been over the years is defense. You think about that Jaguars-Chargers playoff game a while back where they blew that huge lead. Yeah, not going to be great for offenses on the other side for Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think the really special thing about him is he's an explosive guy, but he still has a ton of size. So despite him being, one of the larger guys at the edge position, he's actually one of the faster guys as well, and he typically gets to the quarterback off speed moves, even though you kind of scout him as a power guy.
I think that Miami roster proved themselves this year at the college football level. Coming into that playoff, it felt like a lot of people were even questionable whether they should have made it, right, over Notre Dame. And when you look at the roster, now they've had 3 guys taken in the top 23. I'd say that means they had a whole lot of talent, and they end up going as far as they did. that I think was a shock to a lot of people, but it felt like once they got on a roll, they kept moving. So that was huge for them.
Yeah, huge for the ACC as well. Miami getting in was big. It was interesting, when that whole thing was going down, and the ACC was pushing out propaganda for Miami over Notre Dame. Yeah, not a great look for the ACC in that part, but a great look that Miami was able to get in. A lot of Raptors celebrations going on over there.
108-97, like I said. Down 0-2, we got them right where we want them. The series doesn't start until the road team wins, and right now the Raptors putting on a show. Scotty Barnes, 33 points. He's a dog.
Well, that's impressive. Do want to make sure we please the viewers, look at the chat every once in a while. We want to find out what our thoughts are on Styles going to Washington. I'd say the overall consensus in the room earlier was it was a good choice.
Yeah, I think that's right where we thought Styles was going to go.
Yeah,
actually a little bit below.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you have a guy like Cody Wagner making the mock drafts, you're never going to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, he's not there, but in theory, he's over there. And now, yeah, you just at least point to us, Rob. So Cody had Styles at 5. He ends up going 7th. So according to Cody, mock draft guy, who's not here at the moment, he'll be back. That was a top 5 player in this year's draft that they were able to get at number 7. So I would agree. I think that was a really good choice for Washington.
Yeah, I mean, immediate impact players are the big thing for the Commanders, right? And a guy like Styles, he just brings that to the team immediately.
Speaking of the NFC East, we're still in the division. The Cowboys up to it. And so we have a whole nother squad pulling up to the building because the draft is going on. And I think Robbie instantly wants to make his presence known.
There have been some total disasters this draft, and we're going to get to that in a second. Some total disasters.
A teaser. One of our experts in this year's draft. He's had to hold it all in for the last few hours, obligated elsewhere, and now he's going to find out all of it. He knows what he thinks about the draft, and he's about to find out, too, what our expert Cody thought and went incorrectly about that. So he's going to have a whole lot of opinions, to say the least, Landon.
He's in for a rude awakening, a very, very rude awakening. And we know how reactive Ackerley can get at some points, and it's a great thing. It's a great thing. I just want to know what his reaction is. Robbie Reackerley, as someone may call him, right?
Oh. Wow, trademark, says Taylor.
Yeah. We'll go for it. Robbie Reackerley.
We're doing, guys.
No, we're doing good. Do you have any reactions to the picks that have happened since he left? Or
Yeah, I've looked at a couple. I think something since I follow the Packers, I was monitoring for their sake. I've just noticed not really any corners going. A lot of those have been sinking. A lot of more O-line has been going. So I know I was looking for the Packers' sake, which is not where we sit right now, but I know that they were looking at a corner, and I know that can be true for a lot of other teams. Has it only been Delane that's gone, or have I missed one?
I think that's it. And
We're on pick 23?
he went a whole lot higher, too. And so I almost wonder if any of these teams have traded back, if that was on their radar, right? Maybe those were players that they thought they'd be able to get, like Delane, in that later teen range off the board. And maybe they don't want to reach to just fit a position of need. That's where I'm shocked Dylan Thieneman is still here. I thought that was the pick for Minnesota at 18. They left him open. And after that, I think it was an okay selection. I think it's a big swing. I do think they took Caleb Banks, the first player not on Cody's board this evening. I think Thieneman. Oh, yeah, Simpson. Well, Simpson, though, made the graphics at least. Simpson made the graphics. Caleb Banks didn't make the graphics. Yeah, that's the thing is I think Thieneman would have been the guy, but they went with Caleb Banks. And so, yeah, anything stand out to you so far, Robbie, as you look over at Cody's big board over there? If you want, you can take this and go over.
I mean, Cody, you want some of your
I mean,
I got some bones to pick with a few franchises. So.
Here we go, Cowboys.
I mean,
The board is rough. It's not great.
okay.
Cowboys select.
Well, let's take a look at this pick first. We'll go to the big board in a second. Malachi Lawrence, okay. Where?
Has the Auburn kid went?
No.
Okay, he is on a graphic.
He's on a graphic. I don't think he's on the big board. No, he's not on the big board.
Oh, my.
Not if I remember. Yeah. I mean, it's a total disaster. Let's be honest. I mean, the big board's not even close. Let's go there.
At least nobody's sagging.
I mean, you can't get much worse than what I've done tonight, if we're being honest. I mean, I tried my best. I put in a good effort. I tried. That's all we can say. This this draft has gone in a very different direction than what I expected. I mean,
You knew the position, you know.
here's the thing. Yes, the team needs have been obvious, but I didn't get the guys right at all. We're not even close. But yeah, a lot of offensive linemen have gone tonight. That's the big thing that I've noticed is a lot of teams trying to stack up, beef up front. That's been a big theme of the night. And the edges have really dropped big time in the draft. At least it's felt like. We're going to get some thoughts from Robbie Ackerley now, it looks like.
All right, look. I'm a little late to the party. I understand that. But I've got a couple things to say. First of all, we got winners and losers. I'm going to go over. Has anyone talked about that yet?
Nope.
Because through 23 picks, I've got some big losers.
Whoa.
First, I called in earlier the Arizona Cardinals, total disaster at pick number 3. You sign Algier, you pay James Conner, you've got 2 guys in the room. Not to mention you already have Trey Benson. That's 3. Count them, 3. Not 1, not 2. That's 3 running backs in the room. And then at pick 3, having one of the worst rosters in the NFL, you decide, you know what? We're going to patch up this absolute disaster of a roster with another running back. We're taking a 4th one. Can any 4 of those guys block? Can they tackle? Can they pick the ball off? Can any one of those running backs play defense? Can they play offensive line? No. Arizona heading straight for a bottom 5 pick once again next year. Next loser I'm going to bring up, Cleveland Browns. Now they've got another pick here. And, okay, you know what? I'm going to say it. I think they should go KC Concepcion here with this pick. I don't know if they're going to. That could boot.
Unfortunately, I think they're going to go Boston. I want Concepcion.
Concepcion, better pick, better receiver overall. He's got the stutter. I don't mind that. Got a great character.
And
I
you
love
can do a little bit
Concepcion.
of yin and yang type action
Yeah, like
with
Brent Pry said,
Concepcion.
he yings, he yangs, you know, and that soft southern accent that Brent Pry has. Concepcion will be a phenomenal pick here, but nonetheless, right now, they're marked down as a loser. You know why?
Wow.
Because pick 6, you have a chance to take CC Maui Noah. You trade down. Now pick 9. You still have a chance to get CC Maui Noah. Clear as day, the best tackle in this draft. They say, you know what? We're going to Cleveland this thing. That's a new phrase. I'm coining that. We're going to Cleveland this draft, and we're going to pick not the best tackle. We're going to pick a tackle from the next group. It's Maui Noah, Proctor for me, and then a teardrop. So Cleveland goes, you know what? Let's have our pick of the litter of the next guys in the 3rd tier. Cleveland Browns, total disaster. Take maybe the 3rd, 4th, 5th best tackle in this draft with pick number 9, and that puts the Giants in a spot. They're my big winner right now. New York Giants get CC Maui Noah at pick 10, Arvell Reese at pick 5.
I love
Those
that.
are 2 guys that should not have been there at those picks. Another big winner. It's a personal pick. I'm a huge Tyler Shuck guy, huge fan of him. He won me the fantasy championship last year. I mean, imagine this, a Kellen Moore run offense with Tyler Shuck at the helm, ETN behind Tyler Shuck, and then Olave, and now outside Jordan Tyson on the other side. So Saints, big winner. But right now, Cleveland.
Absolutely not.
Why?
Tyson was a
Why?
reach.
No. Well, they're going to have a better record than the Panthers, not even close. But Panthers, total disaster. A lot of disasters here tonight. Panthers, not really sure. I mean, I think you guys could have benefited from Sadiq. Jets took him out of your hands, and you guys, took a tackle? Yeah, to block your 5 quarterback. So, yeah, it's good.
Do we think,
Wait. I just
so,
want.
hold
I
on.
also want to be known. You should have seen my reaction when we took Fano earlier. I mean, not great.
I thought he was going to grab
Could have
him.
been better.
They're gonna get Concepcion here, and then Cody Wagner's gonna be ecstatic. That's
what I said.
They
Hey,
could
look,
not mess up twice.
If they get Concepcion, they'll move back into the middle of the pack for me, and not the loser. I have to identify the next loser. But Concepcion should be the pick here. If it's Boston, still a solid pick. You guys need a receiver. I mean, he's the receiver.
It's like the same thing with Fano. It's like not the guy I want.
no.
It's the right position, but it's not who you really want.
So who knows? Maybe they'll go one guy you didn't want, one guy you do want. They'll go Concepcion here, right?
Or
law of averages,
maybe they
right?
just know better than all of us. Maybe like Fano's the next guy.
If I've learned one thing from Cleveland, they never know who the next guy is. So
Well, last year's draft, I mean, they crushed last
They
year.
got their guy. Perfect timing.
oh man, don't get me started on Shador Sanders.
I was about to say, I think the problem here is that Shador Sanders is still throwing the football. That's the
I think Deshaun Watson has higher upside at this point. Shador Sanders is the worst quarterback ever. Worst quarterback ever I've ever seen.
They had a
So-
phenomenal draft. Yeah, you had a phenomenal draft. You still stunk. That's the problem.
And here's the return from the Travis Hunter now. Okay, this is a great return, by the way. This is awesome. They've killed this. If they get Concepcion here, this will be a phenomenal trade because Travis Hunter stinks.
Whoa,
Colorado
wait,
boys,
Robbie
disappointments.
actually praising the Cleveland Browns. They're not Clevelanding it right now.
If they get Concepcion here, they're not Clevelanding it.
It says the Chiefs pick is in. They messed up on the ground. Browns helmet, Chiefs tech.
Nice job.
Interesting. So, yeah.
We have a better product than ESPN. It at least says Cleveland Browns on the clock.
Trevor Sheets rolling somewhere. Absolutely pissed. Go ahead and get the stutter. Yeah! Good pick. Good pick. Nice.
Come on.
Some say offensive rookie of the year incoming.
By the way, did anyone hear his interview about like his stutter and stuff? I loved that. He's an awesome dude. He's a great kid.
This has inklings of Matthew Golden of last year.
All
A lot
right.
of hype over a wide receiver, but you know what? Concepcion did it at NC State, did it at Texas A&M. I like that pick as well.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, I love that pick. Oh, that fires me up.
All right, so Cleveland moves to the middle of the pack now. I don't know. I mean, the Cardinals' biggest loser, and I'm not really sure now who the next biggest loser is. But Cleveland recovers. The Bears are always the Bears are always losers. That's what they do.
But they didn't lose.
They did end up losing.
They did. They lost later than the Packers did, though.
First time in how many years?
A lot.
Iceman. Interception in the clutch.
Drake, Iceman, Drake, May 15th. No free promos, but Drake paid me, so.
That's the second mention.
That is the
of
second
that so
mention.
far.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped for it.
Okay, we've got instant replay. Holy cow. Cody went full vertical on that draft choice. That's unbelievable.
And I thought we were gonna get Boston. That was the right decision.
I've had some apple juice tonight. Now I need food.
You know, my mock draft doesn't say who I want them to pick. It says who I think they're gonna pick. I thought they were gonna go Boston. We went Concepcion. I couldn't be happier.
That is an ecstatic Cody after that pick. Yeah, you know, next year maybe we'll work in somehow an instant replay button. I got to look at the technology that goes into that. But I'll tell you what, after getting an angle, if we were to make a montage of tonight, Cody Wagner with the vertical leap that looked like he could have dunked a basketball.
He may have. Yeah, you know, I know we're talking about the NFL Combine right now, but the NBA Combine just finished up, or it's going on right now, one of the two. Yeah, Cody Wagner would have definitely been in the top 3 for verticals.
Yeah, big time for sure.
Freaking out in the corner, maybe because the Raptors are going to go down 3-0. I don't know what's happening.
So now let's go to Chicago with the pick. First entrance of them tonight. I think what's interesting looking back at it, I don't know if they really do need a tight end with Colston Loveland there.
They go Dylan Tieneman.
Yeah,
You don't think they need a receiver?
Receiver, I think definitely could be
I
a
don't
move
think- I mean,
here.
they have, like,
I think
no
receiver might be the
respect.
Our
move.
roster's up and down terrible.
Also, they did such an interesting strategy, losing like 3 big defensive pieces and then bring in the exact position but a different name.
I'll tell you, the biggest hit, maybe the whole thing, though.
Calling it now, Keldrick Falk. That's what I had on the draft board.
All right,
Come on.
So we know
I
that's
need
not
it.
going to hit.
I need something.
Who did the Vikings take?
Oh, it's
That
Caleb
safety?
Banks, the D tackle, with the safety still available. Dylan Thieneman's still out there.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
Wow, that'd be a steal at this point, whoever gets him.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I think
they
it
might
could
take
be
him.
Chicago. I'll tell you, though,
For
for the Bears, I think the biggest hit of the offseason, believe it or not, was their center, Drew Dalman, leaving out of nowhere, retiring.
Center is the most important position in the offensive line. The quarterback of the offensive line, they say. So, but there's no great centers in this draft. It's a very shallow center draft.
That it is. I mean, Rob and I were talking earlier, like when a guy like Sadiq goes at tight end, that almost wipes out the whole position, with it. There's not many guys at certain positions. Even at running back, it feels like, after Love went, you're not necessarily going to take a running back first time, but yeah, exactly. You're really jumping down there after that if you did want a guy at those positions. So Chicago up to the plate. Yeah. No, we do. We've had an active chat. It's been great. We've been able to we're appreciative for all the viewers. We've had a lot of great ones this evening pitching in. If you guys do have questions, we've had a couple. We've now got people that can do that. And this year I think we unlocked the ability to see the chat right on the live stream software, which last year was not the case. So we're definitely improving, and I think hopefully if we do this again next year, we'll have a higher. Yeah, keep getting better with this
Packers will pick
production.
next year, so it'll be more entertaining. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's not entertaining.
They don't
this year.
pick next year.
Oh, they don't even. Oh,
Yeah, 2028.
disaster.
Packers latest. Stay up to date.
We'll see in a
They don't have a
long
pick till
while,
2028.
Packers.
No free promos. All right.
It's not free. I paid Riley $1.
Dollar.
John Horst-esque from the
Trying to
Green
catch a
Bay Packers.
Pokemon right now.
Pokemon. Are there many over here?
Gothita.
I was doing it the other day, and it couldn't have
not
been
even kidding,
any
but
worse.
look at this.
I mean, it was one of the worst Pokemon throws. I did like 5
Oh my
in a
God.
row. It
Cody
took me 5
Wagner,
attempts
Cody
to do it.
Wagner, Brandon McManus when you need him most.
I'm in the woods
no
right now, Robbie.
shot.
Pokemon talk. What are we doing?
Taylor Brettle in the woods.
Let's see if I get her.
Pokemon Go or Flow Sports? That's the question in chat. Answer down below.
Got it.
Answer down below, guys. Flow Sports or Pokemon
New
Go? Which one would you
Pokemon
rather
Go.
tune
Yeah,
into?
comment, live chat.
God,
Throw in GT
the
is
Bears
so
are up. I mean, I have nothing but negative things to say about Chicago as a city. Not even as like the Bears.
Oh,
We
my.
can start with the city.
Well, don't go to. They might be
thoughts
in
on King
Hammond.
Vaughn?
They might
Thoughts
be in
on King
Hammond. They
Vaughn?
might be in Hammond. So
Hammond,
Wait,
Indiana.
but didn't, if I remember right, Chicago beat Green Bay this
When
year.
was the last time Cleveland won a Super Bowl? When was the last time Cleveland went to the AFC Championship? When was the last time a team was an expansion team transferred out of a city and won a Super Bowl in the next 5 years? Do you remember what franchise that was?
Yikes.
Dude, that's. I mean, our owner.
Who's
wanted
been the
to-
only team
wanted
to have a coach have 1 win in 2 years and keep him hired for a third year?
But they
Any
got
more questions from the
KC
crowd?
Concepcion,
Who's
I
just a
guess.
statement. I mean,
Yo, this guy's
Chicago
the GOAT.
did beat
Kickball
Green Bay
dad.
last year.
No, I was asking
Who is
questions,
this,
though.
Taylor?
I'm asking
Kickball
questions.
dad? What's the?
Dad,
what's
big Miami
answered
Dolphins
all those
fan.
questions, by the
Very
way.
great
The
content on
Cleveland
social media.
Browns.
He's a GOAT. He's a GOAT.
like
Who is
Carolina
that?
Mike kind of vibes, or?
I'm
Wait,
trying to think who to
Get him
compare
off the
to.
screen.
Carolina Mike in.
Was Carolina
Is
Mike gonna
Carolina
get on
Mike
the mic?
watching? Is
That would've-
Carolina Mike watching?
Okay, Pierce, get over there.
All right. Well, pick is
Get
in.
in the frame. Get in the frame.
Oh, sorry, Cody.
If this is the safety, I'm going to be upset. That's a good pick, and I don't want them to get a
Minnesota
good pick.
Timberwolves up big right now. Shout out Minnesota.
Wireless mics, by the way. Shout out the wireless mics. Yeah, what's up, Pierce? How you doing?
Hey, man.
You like the Panthers draft so far?
Yeah, we made one pick.
Yeah, you got the tackle.
He was real
for
emotional
Georgia.
too. He was back there at his own Pierce's place.
Yeah, brought me to tears.
Kyron Jones.
God damn it.
We don't say that.
That's a tough. That's a big
Woo!
choice right there. Robbie clearly unhappy
You know what this
with
reminds
that
me of? Oh, you know what
selection.
this reminds me of? This reminds me of when Justin Fields fell. And I saw Chicago get him. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Okay.
How does that happen?
So-
maybe it'll look good for the first year. And then from there, oh boy.
Texans
No,
have
it's
traded-
It's a great pick, but I guess we have a trade.
The
That's just
Texans have
fell into
traded.
the lap.
The Texans have traded to the 26th overall pick, moved up 2 spots. I'm assuming Buffalo bumped back to 28. And the San Francisco 49ers are attempting to trade their 27th overall pick somewhere else.
Look at this. Pierce McKnight is fast.
Yeah, Pierce is our trade guy.
So
He's got all the
Texans will
details.
receive the 26 and 91 overall pick, while the Bills will get 28, 69, and 167.
We've seen a good amount of trades, I feel like, tonight. There wasn't a blockbuster
that's
like
about 5.
moving future first, but if you put those into account, plus the trades we even saw before the draft, like Dexter Lawrence about a week ago, that's big. But also, so once again, want to go back. This is a great pick for Chicago.
I mean, yeah, great pick without a doubt. Had him going up at 18 to Minnesota. Interesting, the Vikings go with an offensive lineman or defensive lineman, excuse me. There, but I mean, for him to be available at 25, Chicago, they don't even have to go up and get him. He just falls right into their lap. This feels like a situation where Maui Noah earlier in the night goes to the Giants, where the Giants, maybe they weren't even looking at an offensive lineman. They just say, oh, this fell into our lap. We got to take him. That's what this feels like.
Hey, his drip's pretty nice. He kind of looks like something I would wear. I mean, he's got a cute few gold chains under there. Got a tan suit. Well, yeah, probably not. But I wouldn't oppose, I guess.
They traded this pick to who?
This will be going to the Houston Texans.
To go up, what, like 1 or 2?
Trade
2
alert.
spots. 2 spots. Houston got 3. Now has 3 picks of the trade, and then Buffalo will have 2. All right, excuse me, opposite. Buffalo.
Okay,
will have
so
3
so
picks out of this.
Houston
Trenches.
on the clock. Yeah, they've definitely had to tear down a lot. What do we make of C.J. Stroud in terms of he looked like a different player in the postseason than we saw prior.
Honestly, I conjured up to the poor offensive. Let me get in the frame here because I've got some offensive lineman thoughts that I want to give here.
I think Ohio State quarterbacks continue to fail more and more in the NFL. It's only the quarterback position. Every other one is pretty successful. But if you look at it, the Ohio State quarterbacks, you look at Dwayne Haskins, you look at Justin Fields, you look at J.T. Barrett, you look at C.J. Stroud. I mean, C.J. Stroud is probably the most successful of all of them. But then you looked in the playoffs, and it was just like, oof, that's rough.
I think it boils down to the fact the Texans' offensive line play was horrible. It was awful. I mean, the Texans' offensive line stinks. So I think they come up here. Look, I know the 49ers are trying to trade this pick per our guy Pierce McKnight over there, but I think 49ers are looking trenches. So if they stay, they are looking trenches. I think Houston is as well. I think they come up here to attack the trenches. And I'm going to real quick say, gig him. I'm going to shout out Giovanni Heater. This could be offensive guard Pistonis from Texas A&M, if that's how you pronounce that last name. Not really sure. But I think they go guard here, interior Texas A&M kid.
Okay, I want to confirm this. What were the trade details again, Pierce? Now does Houston have 2 of the next 3 picks? Were they able to keep number 28?
Did they keep 28?
I'm getting a business call from my wife. I have to go.
Okay, so they just haven't changed it. But yeah, so it's
Buffalo's got 28.
28.
Houston's here at 26. Yeah, I like the call from Robbie. I think you need to go somewhere offensive line. They've got needs for the defensive line as well. So the trenches on both sides, that's where you're thinking you need to go for Houston.
Definitely not a lot of room. Yeah, Thieneman a whole lot of.
Dude, they're loving him.
I don't know. I like this guy. I like the way his swag is.
You've been a drip expert all night. I mean, just covering everything.
I mean, for years, honestly.
Yeah, I'm glad we gave you your own camera this year because although it was a little glitchy, I think at first with the porch cam, we settled into the kitchen, Pierce's place over there, and we've had a lot of great moments. So here comes the pick for Houston. They still haven't updated the graphic. We're sure that.
I mean,
Buffalo.
Pierce,
You're saying Buffalo did
28?
trade 28?
Yes.
Okay, so they just
didn't
yeah.
switch the,
Oh yeah, you're right. They didn't switch any of them actually. It feels like. Here we go.
Georgia Tech.
Okay. Wow, they go Keelan Rutledge from
Okay.
Georgia Tech to the first round.
We do have a graphic of him. He was not on the big board. I mean, the offensive linemen, I did not think as many would go tonight as have. They're really trying to bolster up front. I mean, it makes sense. We talk about, it feels like it's talked about constantly that offensive line's the most important thing out there.
You know, Cody, I mentioned it earlier, and you just brought it back up, and it sparked the thought in my brain. I mentioned earlier when we were looking at your mock draft, it just was a little lackluster. And so I proposed that we figure out a challenge for you and Robbie Ackerley to decide who will do the mock draft next year.
Oh, Robbie can do it. He's obviously better than me. I don't care. If he wants to do it.
I mean, this guy's got no fight in his heart. Did you take the bus here today? You got a fire in your gut?
I did it because I wanted to help out Klaus. I mean, if Robbie wants to do it, he's more than welcome to. I've got no problem with it. Me and Klaus both did one last year. Riley said he didn't want to do one this year, so I did it. I mean,
I respect it.
I tried my best. That's all I'll say.
They did. So free agent currently for who will be our mock draft expert next season. We'll be taking applications, but it's probably still going to be someone that was here
was
this
that
year.
poor of a performance? I'm gone. See ya.
But I'm going to be honest. I don't know.
Has retired.
I don't know who would have gotten some of these picks. Like, this has been a tough year. Last
All
year,
jokes aside, I seriously think after the first 2 picks, it was pretty much impossible.
I mean, even the second pick wasn't a gimme. You got that one. And
With
then,
Arizona taking Love, I mean,
Yeah, just-
that was Robbie said it best. It just seems like a boneheaded move right now.
Yeah, Carnell Tate going all the way up to 4.
That was
is
a shocker.
Yeah. I mean, just a lot of movement.
And then you got a trade for the 6th pick as well. I mean, there was trades and movement at a tough draft to try and predict it. I'm curious to go back and see how Mel Kiper did as well, because last year he was actually pretty on point, but this year seems pretty hard to predict.
That it does. And so with that, the Dolphins are up in this draft. We keep on getting closer and closer to completing this evening. Already pick number 27 out of pick 32 that we'll see this evening from Pittsburgh. Miami. Where did Houston
They went with
go?
guard
Ratledge. Yep.
Rutledge out of Georgia Tech. Keelan Rutledge off guard.
No, I'm already forgetting who did Miami take earlier in this draft.
They went with
Did they go Proctor? Yeah, they went Caden Proctor. Yeah, I liked that pick. I'd say overall for them, because they need a whole lot of help. Truthfully, with this team, they really didn't have a choice when it was all said and done to kind of gut the roster because of the salary cap and just they needed a fresh start. It feels like with everything that was going down and.
Yeah, wouldn't be shocked to see Denzel Boston here. That's I think that's high likelihood for Miami here.
I mean, the corners have not flown up the board.
Oh, Mark Cooper also is still yet to
Yeah,
go.
that's going to be a big steal for somebody, I think.
Yeah, maybe
Cooper, a very kind of split
Omar
guy.
Cooper here? He still hasn't gone.
Some people really high on him. Others are probably about this range, I'd say.
So, thanks for the mic, Cody. I appreciate it. Something interesting here is receivers and corners have both not flown off the board, two positions the Dolphins need. So, I think they come up here to get one of those two. Denzel Boston's a guy that maybe people thought would go higher, as well as Omar Cooper thought would go higher. The Tennessee corner, who was supposed to be a top 7 pick in the draft for tearing his ACL prior to last season, still on the board. Terrell's still there. Look at Chris Johnson from San Diego State. He's still there. The Dolphins are up right now, and the positions they need are readily available. So right now for Miami, corner, receiver, a lot of guys out there. I don't think they can mess this one up.
Yeah, Colton Hood, that's the guy out of Tennessee, and Terrell, who's out of Clemson. Yeah, Chris Johnson as well. Yep.
I did miss that.
A
So the
lot
Dolphins are-
of guys. It feels like a good spot for Miami to be in, right?
So Dolphins did trade up for this pick. I didn't even notice that. They traded up for the 27th, and they got the 30th, or the 49ers got the 30th and the 90th overall pick. So Miami had somebody in mind, so they're pretty high on whoever they're coming to get.
A lot of trades tonight just to move up just a little bit. Teams just going, hey, we were in this range. We had a guy in mind, and they're probably like, we want to go make sure we can secure that guy. That's what it's felt like.
To that point, Cody, I mean, you see this a lot. There's on average 5 to 7 trades in the first round every year, and 46% of those come in the back half of those draft picks. So 27 or 26 moving around, not a big surprise.
He made up that number.
Robbie.
You can look it up.
No, I believe it. Here we go.
Listen.
Chris Johnson, there it is. Cornerback. San Diego State. There is a graphic for him. I can
assume they did
confirm
that because I think they did that to get in front of
yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, wanted to get that because they probably thought Buffalo was going to go get a cornerback.
Yeah, Buffalo's certainly in the market for
In the DB market.
corner. Oh no, yeah, I think it was Jamal McCoy.
I want to go a unique route with this conversation.
Yeah, my bad.
This is one of those scenarios. Chris Johnson is
I
his
forgot
name,
they
right?
had two
Yes.
He would have to have quite a heck of a career to go down as the best Chris Johnson in NFL history. So how, if you're named someone else that's really famous, like, how do you live life and what's he got to do to overtake CJ2K? He's got his own nickname.
Sorry, segue. Another trade. The Buffalo Bills have traded once again their pick.
Wow.
They moved back to the 31st overall pick, and they will receive 125. And they've traded to a in division New England Patriots.
Oh, up comes Diana Rossini.
To the Twitter account removed.
So it's interesting for New England to trade up here. Robbie, do you have any thoughts on who they want?
I got a lot of thoughts. Right now, New England, they're in a tough spot right now, the Patriots. I wouldn't be surprised here if we see the first ever head coach drafted with the 28th overall pick. First round head coach, Patriots might get a new man wearing the headset next year. Of course, with all the controversy
They go
going
back
on.
to Bill
They could
Belichick.
draft somebody here. They could, Bill Belichick could be off the board. Are college coaches eligible to be drafted? What's the rule on that?
Okay. Well, I assume they're going to draft a player here. had Christian Miller on the mock draft. Let's burn the mock draft. It literally doesn't mean anything anymore. You could be looking at a lot of guys for the Patriots. There's no super immediate team needs when you think about the Patriots. So they got a lot of good young guys that you're still asking questions of. Like a guy even like Will Campbell, who was their first round draft pick of last season. You're asking questions of him, but he's still going to be in the starting lineup. There's zero chance that you would take an offensive tackle this year. I wonder where they go.
And the pick is in. Bono.
Caleb Lomu.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, yeah, that's a offensive tackle from Utah.
He shouldn't have been here. He's a phenomenal tackle. Of course, he gets overshadowed by the guy Cleveland took, Fano at number 9. But look, Utah had a heck of a season last year. Weren't able to make the playoffs, but they were serious contenders in the Big 12. A lot of that due to the hogs they had up front, and Caleb Lamu is a heck of a football player. I think Patriots fans will get used to him pretty well. And I think if you're Will Campbell, you start to, you sweat a little bit because Will Campbell didn't have the best rookie season. I don't think Lamu's a replacement for him. I think they can move Lamu over to the right side and have these guys play in tandem. But Lamu's a guy, of course, young offensive tackles. They try to find their identity on both sides, left and right. So it'll be interesting to see where Lamu fits in this Patriots offense.
And that's what I was saying to Pierce, where they got a lot of young guys on this team, right? New England, where it's like they're still trying to figure out who fits where, and they didn't have a ton of team needs in particular. So you went with one of the best guys available. It feels like.
Look, you can never have too many linemen. We've seen the Packers go that route. I mean, I'm a Packers guy. That's why I'm just bringing them up. You can never have too many offensive linemen. Lamu, of course, I mentioned him. He's a left tackle, but he can play right tackle. The jump from left to right tackle is a lot easier than it is to go from the non-blind side to the blind side.
Playing right tackle.
Yeah, look at that. They got highlights of him being versatile. That's a jumbo package you saw right there from Utah. Him playing on the right side and rushing for a touchdown was the Utah Utes. But yeah, he's a heck of a football player. Pretty low. We've seen a lot of tackles and receivers and corners drop, I feel like, in this draft right now. Very interesting.
I still do want to find out with Buffalo, what all have they picked up trading down twice?
Oh, hold on.
We've got the trade expert Pierce is going to pull that
We can probably get the
momentarily.
overall gain for them.
I'm
made a couple
intrigued
of-
because they clearly must have a couple people in mind that they felt they could still get at the back half of the first, or a lot of guys in the same tier.
So they got the 28th and then traded that. So they had the 69, 167, and 31 and 125. So 31, 125, 69, and 167. So four picks total.
I mean, to add 3 is huge. To add 3 picks to your draft capital to move just down 6 spots, 5 spots. I mean, that's huge.
I think they have the potential, if they still get a guy that they really valued, to win that whole sequence. And I don't mind them moving back. It's tough for fans, I imagine, to have to be. Hey, can I just go deep thoughts here?
Go ahead.
You'd all grow up as a kid, and nowadays, obviously, we can stay up to the whole draft. But
Where's
it's like
this going?
you're waiting for your team's pick. Now, I was at least used to having to wait. I know Cleveland usually picked in the top 5 every time, but for me, if the
We had
Vikings
to
were
wait
picking
for
like
Johnny Manziel.
22, we're picking like 24, something like that, or even 18. I have to stay up for it. You wait, and then trade out. And now you got to wait again. You were looking forward to. Yeah, I mean, for me.
Guys, can I be honest? It was often that we would be at dinner when the Browns were picking. We would get back from dinner to find out who they picked. That's how early in the night the Browns draft on a regular basis. So.
Got a development here. Some nice little nugget to add to the stream. The Pittsburgh Steelers were on the phone with Mekhi Lemon when he was picked by the Eagles, planning to pick him at 21, and the Eagles jump ahead and pick him at number 20. So
Okay,
Mekhi
so that
Lemon-
goes back to wow. Wow. And who did Pittsburgh pivot to?
Who is offensive lineman, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Who do we think the Chiefs are going?
Wait,
with?
was it Freeling that they took?
No, Freeling was with the Panthers.
Yeah, Freeling was for the Panthers.
Oh yeah, right.
Because maybe I don't know. We'll have to look back, but
I forgot. Yeah.
Big BJ.
you picked Freeling.
Yep.
Do you remember who Pittsburgh?
Sorry, I didn't have the
first-
draft board up.
Yeah, we didn't update that.
Right, yeah.
It was the ASU tackle.
Oh yeah.
Super long name guy.
Yep. So
Yeah.
that was still a decent pivot,
Yep.
I'd say. But
Oh my gosh.
Kansas City pick in. Spoiler, you got good
Another
news here.
Okay. Another trade to announce. It's not the Buffalo Bills. It's the San Francisco 49ers. Again, they're trading the 30th overall pick to the New York Jets. In return, it will be a 33 and a 179.
Okay,
Now, there's been a lot of... Yes, Buffalo should stay at 31. But 30 will now be the New York Jets for their third first-round pick.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
And
movement.
We expected them potentially moving back into here for getting Ty Simpson, but I wonder who they could be trying to get now.
Well, I'll say this. I think historically when teams stack up on a draft class like this, you have the chance to really turn around your team if you get 3 first-round picks. I mean, if you even hit on 2 of the 3, you could do it. The problem is I don't know about the timeline for the Jets staff and everything.
Look, so with the New York Jets, here's my take on things. Not that anyone cares. Aaron Glenn knows the clock is ticking, and Aaron Glenn knows that he is on the thinnest ice possible. So that's why you take David Bailey. You don't take the project. You take the guy who's ready to go now. And then, next pick, you take the guy ready to go now, Kenyon Sadiq, to pair with a quarterback in Geno Smith, who is only getting older. The New York Jets, for some reason, want to win now. They feel they can. Aaron Glenn knows this is probably his last season if it doesn't go well. So the New York Jets are drafting for now. They took Bailey, the more experienced rusher. They took Kenyon Sadiq, who's ready to play tight end now. Wouldn't be surprised if they try and get another weapon maybe next to Garrett Wilson. Maybe a guy like Denzel Boston who's been falling, but Chiefs are up, so I'll defer to Roger Goodell.
We'll see what the Chiefs make with their selection.
Good pick.
Wow.
All right, they go Peter Woods, D tackle up the front for Kansas City. I think that's just a good pick for the Chiefs there.
Yeah,
Just
Peter
consistent.
Woods is a quality guy, strong guy up front. I mean, Chiefs, where would you have gone?
I agree with the pick. I think Kansas City, they're always in a spot where they can go best player available. Peter Woods, another one of these guys that if you look at mock drafts from last season, the day after the way too earlys, before the college football season was underway, Peter Woods is supposed to be a top 10 pick. This is a guy who had a phenomenal season the year prior, just didn't have his best tape forward last year, but now he slides down the draft board. If you're a team like Kansas City, you pick up a guy who didn't have the best year, but the talent is obviously still there. Kansas City, they're always in a spot to take best player available. I think that's a great pick for Kansas City.
I mean, how great is it, and like, how much of a luxury is it to be in a position to take best player available?
It's always a luxury. It was funny because Kansas City was up at pick number 9 in a luxury to take best player available, and they went up to pick 6 to take best player available, who they thought was best player available in former Virginia Tech cornerback Mansour Delane. But yeah, for Kansas City, I mean, they've had a pretty good draft. I don't know if I would have went up to get Delane. I think I could have gotten Delane at 9.
this is an
But
interesting
now, hey,
fit.
you know, you kind of even that out with the fact that Peter Woods, who's a heck of a football player up front, is still available at pick 29.
Peter Woods got pretty good drip on it. I can't exactly tell what the chain says. I think it says, it might say Woods. I
He
mean,
was ready for the Jets. But
it does look like he was ready for the Jets. I like the green. Got some Christmas colors now. We got a lot of bracelets. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo. Not Woods. It's Woo with a king on the O. That's kind of tough.
So speaking of the Jets, do the Jets go receiver?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's where
Washington
Robbie's
guy?
thinking. Yep, that's exactly what Robbie's thinking.
Yeah.
well, they were linked to. I'm blanking. Omar Cooper.
He could also go. He's still
They were
there.
linked to Omar Cooper in the pre-draft stage. I think Denzel Boston's better, but then again, you're not asking, hey, Robbie, who do you think's better? You're asking, hey, Robbie, who do you think the Jets take here?
Probably
So I
Cooper.
think they come back in to get receiver, and I would
Do we
go
know what they
Boston.
gave up to get to third?
I don't know what they gave up. I said Boston before, so I'll stick with Boston, but I do think they come back in to get receiver. Jets, like I said, Aaron Glenn, trying to win now for some reason.
33 and 179.
I like that move for the Jets.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
to
not
give
much
up,
to sacrifice. I mean,
You get a 5th-year option, right, for a first-round pick?
yep, they do. That's a great point by Pierce. Huge stuff.
reason the Giants came in to get Dartmouth.
Yep, get that extra year on the contract, which with the way the numbers keep on going up and up and up, that feels like a
wow,
potential
when Mel
great move.
Kiper doesn't. I mean, guys, we're sure Omar Cooper hasn't went yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Omar Cooper's pretty divisive in the
He could
community
go
here.
as
He
to
could
what
go
people
here.
think.
First-round pick.
He could go here.
He's not a first-round pick.
Until they take him here, right?
There he is.
And-
There he is.
There it
What was that, Pierce?
There it is.
He's not a first round pick.
Wow.
But he was to the New York Jets.
So if you're Denzel Boston, what do you think here?
Well, he's not.
Yeah, is anyone left in the green room that hasn't gotten picked yet? I don't know if they've really shown it in a while.
I would think they would be. I would think they would be showing it if there was someone back there. I mean, dude, Omar Cooper, he had a really good season this year.
Do the
Like-
Seahawks go the Notre Dame RB, or is that a dumb guess? I was curious because he was on Mel's
Yeah.
top 5 available.
That's not a horrible guess.
Yeah.
Who for Seattle?
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Yeah,
they lose Kenneth
Seattle.
Walker,
I mean, yeah, they
and they
probably.
also
too.
Yeah.
Their backup running back is
Emmanuel Wilson.
Their backup running back tore his ACL.
Emmanuel
and
Wilson.
They signed Emmanuel Wilson.
Dang.
Who was the only guy that received a run backwards.
Next year too.
19 yards.
I mean, I'm sure you all have seen that Omar Cooper catch a million times against Penn State from earlier in the season. That I mean, ridiculous to get a foot in bounds there, but he's a very solid receiver. Doesn't drop the ball a lot. Very athletic on the outside, and yeah.
So Buffalo on the clock still, taking their time with 4 minutes still on the clock.
Hey, we got a Buffalo fan here. What's
Yeah.
Max? You've been left waiting, Max.
Buffalo trees down again, imagine.
I don't know a whole lot about football, but I know I like the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. And see, you're running the hypothetical I was saying earlier. You've been staying up just for this pick, and
Yeah.
they've had to trade it twice.
Yeah, I was about to go to bed after 26, but then they traded to 28 and now 31. So, they kind of got on my nerves a little bit, but we're all good.
Well, there's 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on their clock to make a selection. What do we think Buffalo could be doing with this choice right here at number 31?
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't know. You could go a lot of different directions here. It feels like a lot of guys that are in the very similar, like a cornerback.
I feel like this for the past couple of years, Buffalo's been in the same position where its best player available, Pierce McKnight, has a.
They're going quarterback from Tennessee, McCoy.
What about Washington?
You said quarterback? Or you said corner? Oh, I was about to
Pick
say.
is in. Buffalo is making a
Okay.
choice. They have not
Wait,
traded
the
the
Titans are on
pick.
the clock, it says. What's
Yes.
going on?
Oh, wow.
So bad. This is so bad.
It says
Are they?
it says the pick is in for Buffalo, but it says on the clock Tennessee. Did Buffalo trade out again? Pick is in Titans. It's the Titans.
Oh, my.
Whoa!
Eee,
Tennessee
wow.
Titans.
Tennessee traded back into the first round for the 31st overall.
Max?
Max is
Just
just
seen
left
it.
waiting. Oh, wow.
Tennessee is looking for a wide receiver.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Max thought.
Dang.
That's crazy.
That's so dumb. That I hate that so much.
Yeah.
I
I hate
who
to
they
ask
pick.
this, too.
Just
Did
pick
you have
somebody.
any schoolwork or anything you had to get done? Instead, watched your team.
You know,
So you're just vibing.
I got a final project tomorrow, 9 a.m. So
Oh.
not
And you
great,
stayed
but
up
could
to
be
see
worse.
this happen. Well, and then now the pick is in is magically just there after the timer.
Yeah,
What Pierce McKnight? What you got? Taylor's got it. Taylor, the trade guy. Oh, let me turn to the other side cam, Taylor.
Taylor, wow. We got it right here. Shout out Twitter. I'm kind of cut off.
Wait, you got to look up.
Forehead cam.
up, buddy.
I know it's up, but I'm sitting. I'm not trying to. All right. Shout out.
Total disaster.
I don't know if you want to show this draft board. It's been a disaster. All right. Per a source on Twitter, we haven't got it from one of the big bosses yet at the desk, but if this is true, the Bills trade 31, 69, and 165. The Titans trade 35, 66, and 101.
What in the pick swap?
Little 3 for 3.
Wow.
There's there's three straight sources that say that exact thing.
The Bills just don't want to draft it. Honestly, I
Yeah.
get it.
I love that for Buffalo.
Who do they have to take? Like,
And
They're wide receiver.
literally,
They're going wide receiver.
the point I was making the Bills before I was interrupted by Goodell. I'll be interrupted by him again. Fine, go ahead, Roger, I guess. Go.
Oh.
No, we got congratulations. All right, Roger. Look it up.
Can they say over 350,000 people?
that 320,000 is what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
How could
320,000.
that's insane. What?
Wow.
Pittsburgh against football.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
There we
talking about Buffalo.
Max
was trying
is
to make
done.
before
We
they
appreciate
trade
him
out.
being
Is
here.
It seems every single year in, year out, Buffalo is always in a spot where they can take best player available because they are right on that cusp of reaching the championship, and they just, they stay in the first round. They take one guy that'll help. Now they trade out. I like it. They're gearing up on picks, trying to take a bunch of guys, diversify.
No, it makes a lot of sense for them. Like, there wasn't an obvious guy to take there, and I think for them, if there's not an obvious guy, they're gonna trade back and they're gonna stock up on picks. It makes sense.
Well, where we stand, there is just one pick remaining in this year's first round of the 2026 draft. I
Hey,
know when
I
it's over.
started with a right pick. Let's see if I can end with one.
And who
hopefully.
would that be, Cody?
Well, you take a look up here. That would be Jadarian Price, a running back from Notre Dame, teammate of Jeremiah Love. It would be crazy. There's the potential that we could get 2 Notre Dame running backs in the first round and not a single other running back. It would be insane, but he's listed as the number 2 running back on a lot of boards. So we'll see what happens with this final pick of the night, Riley.
Well, that we will. I'm trying to think of the last time I really saw it. I know Sony Michel and Nick Chubb in the same draft for Georgia, I think was a pretty big one.
Darren McFadden and Felix Jones in 2008.
Wow.
Yeah.
Arkansas, Jared Woolley.
And Peyton Hillis eventually down the track, too. So, Keldrick Falk, the pick for Titans. And, well, we got one more for Seattle. This reminds me a lot of the Rashad Penny or Clyde Edwards-Helaire type stuff.
Yeah.
Just team that's at the end. And for Seattle, their need actually is running back.
Yep.
Otherwise, do they take a swing on maybe a McCoy or, a corner or Hood from Tennessee? Either of those guys.
You got a thought?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's not-
I mean, my thought is it makes most sense to go with a running back here. Yeah, they do need some corners after Kobe Bryant goes. I think both make sense here. I think a running back seems more obvious for them.
I think the better player might be at corner, but I think positional need-wise, running back makes more sense. However, Seattle, they've had a lot more success defensively than offensively with these skill position-wise because Grace Abel was a phenomenal pick last year at offensive guard. But for Seattle, they took Rashad Penny in the first round. You look back a few years, that was a mistake looking back on it now. Even though Penny, he was injury-riddled, he had a lot of talent. For Seattle, probably lean running back here, but honestly, hey, you just won the Super Bowl. You can go whatever the heck you want. You return on the same roster.
Yeah.
So Falk, the selection, Pierce and I were just talking. I think that maybe is towards the end of guys in the green room. He was there. I didn't know he was. But we were talking about earlier, whether you go there, there's always a chance you take the risk that you don't. Sometimes guys can stay into day 2. Feels like a lot of them don't. But I think that a majority of them have been picked from the green room, and Seattle has made a pick this final one. Okay, so Cardinal Tate to start the night, and then Keldrick Falk to end the night for Tennessee.
Yeah, they showed a graphic earlier, the 2 quarterbacks that had gone tonight. I mean, Ty Simpson going all the way up at 13. It feels not like a quarterback heavy draft, Riley.
Yeah, not whatsoever. I think Mendoza was the clear guy, and I don't think that even him was really up to par compared to some of the other number 1 draft choices we've had over the last few years. But after him, it was a drop-off, and then Simpson goes to 13, and then I feel like it's going to be a hot minute till we see another one after that. We might see one later tomorrow night in day 2. Who do you think, Robbie, would be a QB3 off the board on day number 2?
Oh, God.
Are we talking Garrett Nussmeier range?
Oh, no.
Carson Beck.
Look at the NDSU kid's intriguing because of the dual threat ability, but honestly, I think Carson Beck's. It depends who takes the quarterback. If it's a team that's looking for upside, I think the North Dakota State kid is the next guy off the board. But if it's a team that's looking for a career backup, we saw Cleveland last year take Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round just to be a backup, to be that nice game manager you could sub it, and maybe he could win you a game or 2 if he's put in the right position. So if it's a team looking for a backup, I think it'll be Carson Beck. If it's a team looking for an upside swing, I think the North Dakota State kid. I think those 2 guys, one of those 2 will be the next quarterback taken.
We also know, I know at least personally, you're not the biggest fan of Shedeur Sanders at the helm of Cleveland. Would you take, if you were to take a quarterback for Cleveland in this draft, who would you take?
I think at this point
Would you
for
not?
Cleveland, I think honestly, I look at the board. And there might be 6 or 7 guys better than Shedeur Sanders still on the board for the Cleveland Browns here.
Wow.
So honestly, they
A
could wait.
quarterback.
Maybe they could wait till the draft's even over. Finding a quarterback better than Shedeur Sanders is a pretty easy task. Shedeur Sanders, I mean, he's one of the worst I've ever seen, to put it lightly. So Cleveland does not have the answer in number 12 or number 2 now. He's rocking his old number.
This kid's getting the crowd.
Yeah, I don't. We don't know. We don't get to hear the audio or get the background on who these people.
Just relax, guys. I think we know what's going on.
Yep, are that
fired
getting selected, but always assistance with Roger Goodell to add choice. Because it'd be weird, do you remember the virtual draft? It was just Roger Goodell in his basement.
Yeah. Oh,
just
that
him
was a
making a pick
disaster.
every time.
That was Jordan Love.
That was,
How
yeah,
could I
that was.
forget when the Packers drafted a top 5 quarterback?
And so this time they get the in-person. We get different people going up there to the stage.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
they were really
fired
firing
up.
up the crowd. Because remember, there's people of every
fired.
single team that made the travel. So, yeah, although we don't have the audio to know this person's name or the background of what it is, it's great to see the community involvement and get everyone out there. All different colored jerseys in the stands.
They showed
Not
the
stands.
overview. There are so many people there.
Yeah, once again, 20,000 or something? Okay, here's the selection.
He is
Oh,
fucking
wow.
up.
Energy is being brought to this pick. Oh, he is peeking the mic
Oh, my
bad, even
goodness.
probably worse than we've had tonight. Oh, my.
Somebody please turn the game down.
Fired up.
Did
Fired
not
up.
understand the pick? ESPN, help us out.
This is crazy.
They had to announce it to everyone that he was at Make-A-Wish.
And oh! Cody Wagner. The first
I'm
pick.
done. I'm done, guys.
Yeah,
guys,
the first. So,
That's-
yeah, you go to the
that's my
big
night.
board. Go to the big board. Got it.
Guys, I'm not. I can't be proud of it. I mean, there's not a single pick right. There's not a single pick right there.
Price at 34.
I mean,
You bet.
we got 3.
We got it.
We got 3 tonight.
Oh my God.
And it's not great, guys. Not great, if we're being honest. It was yeah. I mean, it would have been better if it was a dartboard. I think. I mean, at least I can have some control over it. This was just a total disaster tonight, guys. I apologize for my performance. Rather lackluster. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm sure Riley will have some great speech. I'm sure Riley will have some great speech to close us out. But guys, I tried my best. It was. I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, that was certainly great stuff. There's just last look at that board over there. Oh, yeah, that's right. Robbie has ran into the Seahawks a couple of times.
I've met John Schneider twice. I've met Bobby Wagner a few times. I've met Pete Carroll multiple times. The Seahawks and me were super tight. Me and Richard Sherman, I call him Rich, or I call him Dick sometimes. We're super tight. Honestly, me and the Seahawks, we go way back. Long history there, long-standing family history, tradition. I'm a Packers fan, but
Yeah.
if I run into any of the
they beat you in.
if I run into any of the Seahawks guys, I mean, they know who I am. I know who they are. It's always cordial. It's always a quaint. And yeah, I love the Seahawks, man. I love them a lot.
Well,
Wow.
32 picks have gone by, folks. That was certainly entertaining. I think this year's was a lot more shocking than last year's draft.
Yes.
Drip has not lived up to last.
Yeah, Pierce, we had to set up with
basic suits. There's
Yeah, we
nothing-
had you all set up with a camera. You had a great time. Though we started you out on the porch. I know that the freeze frame I think hit us a little bit out there, but then you settled in the kitchen. You had different outfits ready to go. Yeah, 320,000 fans apparently that were in attendance there.
275,000.
Where do you park? I know a lot of them live there,
Yeah,
but
no
like,
kidding.
think about it.
But yeah, Pierce, you were
Crazy.
great with that. Everybody else pitched in with the analysis.
Yeah.
Cody with his big board. He gave it a go. All right, and I think we learned a lot going into next year. That spot may be open. as to who's
Open for business.
open for business. But we certainly enjoyed our time here. Any last thoughts? Winners, losers, fun moments.
Ooh.
Can I real quick say this? I just want to give an outro. Offensive players still on the board. Carson Beck, Garrett Nussmeier, Mike Washington, running back. Denzel Boston, receiver. Zachariah Branch from Georgia. Eli Stowers, tight end. Chase Pistonis, guard from Texas A&M. Defensive-wise, we got Zion Young still out there. TJ Parker from Georgia still out there. CJ Allen, Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech. And Jermod McCoy, Colin Hood, both Tennessee boys still on the board.
Lots of corners.
A lot of good talent tomorrow in tomorrow's draft.
Yeah, we will not have a live stream.
Aiden Fisher too.
Shout out Aiden Fisher for Fierce there. We will not have a live stream tomorrow.
No.
But
No.
you can yeah, we'll be back a year from today, no doubt. But we seriously appreciate you taking time out of your Thursday night.
Yeah.
It is the first round of the draft that it is. It's been an absolute pleasure. We added extra camera angles this year, had a whole lot of fun. And I know next year we'll have some fun with it as well. So make sure you stay safe wherever you are. You have fun with the rest of your Thursday night. Was a heck of a draft for everybody that was part of this one tonight. We really
One more Cody
appreciate
Wagner
ya.
might grab.
And we just need some love for Riley Klaus. I mean, hosting this thing, running it immaculately, doing pretty much all the work to make it happen. Love for Riley Klaus.
Yeah, love for Riley Klaus in a major way. Riley Klaus, the host,
Go.
the best, always the guy with the most. But one guy I want to shout out, Taylor Brettel, final draft extravaganza for you. Anything you want to say here to the crowd, TB, one final time?
That's a lot of pressure. Oof. You know, the last one was the best one. I think the production was higher than ever. I think the draft was more random than ever, which I personally like. I like not kind of knowing who's next. Honestly, the only two picks I felt confident in were the first and last one. I felt like Seattle was going to go running back, and they did, and you knew Mendoza was going to go. I liked the randomness. I liked the excitement right away with Jeremiah Love going to the Cardinals. And, you know, missed a little bit in between, you know, picking up this guy, but glad that we can have you for the back end of it. So, you know, so it was a good time. But day 2 tomorrow, round 2 tomorrow for my Packers. I'm hoping they don't mess it up. Lots of corners on the board. I hope that they get one. They'll probably go O-line. Sorry, Mel Kiper's going off on the TV right now. I'm really distracted. Mel Kiper's pissed.
What's going on?
Todd, he's pissed. I mean, I don't know who. Wow.
But anyway, Carson Beck, quarterback, Miami, great performance in the playoff, took a team to a national championship. Can't believe he's still available. Someone's going to get a steal. Hard pressed to tell me otherwise.
Well, I think on that note, that's a great way to end this year's draft extravaganza. Once again, thank you so much for watching this one. I can't promise any content soon on this channel for anything.
Hey, this took a lot of prep, though. Shout out to...
Yeah, this did take some prep. Shout out to Cody,
guys.
especially. Yeah, the thumbnail hopefully got some clips on this one. This channel at this moment is about an 18-week during the regular season, maybe a bonus during the playoff, and draft night exclusive at the moment.
Let's go.
Because we're busy doing other things, but you still can keep up to date with everything going on. So once again, one more time, thank you for watching this one.